at the Crossing.
This is a shout out to the professional tailgaters, game day grillers, and potluck pros. Whether you bake it, smoke it, stack it, or melt it, there's nothing more important than how you cook up your team spirit while serving it with an ice-cold Coca-Cola or Coke Zero Sugar. We may not all agree on the best game day foods, but when you serve your meals with a Coke, you know you've got yourself a winner. Pick up a custom Colts commemorative cup at your nearest Arby's. Coca-Cola. Taste the feeling.
Do you have a love-hate relationship with your credit card? You love the freedom and convenience the credit card gives you, but you hate the high interest rates? And let's face it, they're high. 17, 18, even 20% APR? That's pretty outrageous. But with Lightstream's credit card consolidation loan, rather than throwing your money away on high interest payments, you can get a much lower rate, as low as 6.14% APR with AutoPay. And today, if you want an even lower rate, apply at lightstream.com/radio for a special discount. Plus, with Lightstream, your rate is fixed, so as rates continue to rise, your rates won't budge. They'll stay low. You can get a loan from $5,000 to $100,000, which means you can pay off your credit card and start paying an interest rate you can really love, thanks to Lightstream.
Ready to start saving? Apply now at lightstream.com/radio. That's right. Get your extra discount by applying today at lightstream.com/radio. That's lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rate includes 0.5% auto pay discount. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
This is Indy Sports Center.
WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BB, W228CX, Indianapolis.
The Pacers head to Orlando to take on the Magic tomorrow evening at 6:30 on FM 107.5 at 1070 The Fan.
What in the hell do you think you're doing?
Hey, John Boy.
I'm telling you straight, it's my way or the highway. So anybody wants to walk, do it now.
Hey, everybody, we're all gonna get laid.
Kick is up, and it is long enough, and it is good! Adam Vinatieri, at age 45, drills one from 57 yards out.
Was kept alive by Oladipo, and Sabonis with a left hand.
John, I have never been better to be on the air with you here in Indianapolis, a place where so many of my dreams have come true.
The Ride with JMV.
There's for you coming up at 3:30 in a segment you absolutely cannot afford, well, monetarily, for fun, for product, or just for fun with your friends, right? You want to look like a genius? 3:30, drop in or stick right here, and we'll have Week 14 all analyzed and probably a little bit overanalyzed for you coming up at the bottom of the hour here, too. Charles Arbuckle of SiriusXM, college football conversation coming at you at 4 o'clock today. We'll talk about, We're going to talk about where Ohio State goes now with Ryan Day, what happens with Urban Meyer. We're going to talk about some of the hot rumors out there. My man Lee Page continues to drop in the Brian Kelly rumor on me. And you know what's funny about that? When he drops in the Brian Kelly rumor, and I mention the Brian Kelly rumor, like all these Notre Dame fans go, oh, yeah, good. I mean, seriously. They're in the Final Four. They're in the playoff. Oh, I get that. That'd be great. Yeah. It's amazing to see, and that's just, that is just a gist, right, of sports in general now. It is still amazing to see you get a team all the way to the Final Four, into the college football playoff, and you still, like my man Hip Hugger out there, Timmy still wants to see the guy go. By any means necessary. It's kind of amazing. We'll discuss that coming up top of the 4 o'clock hour. Charles Arbuckle is going to join us. I do find that incredibly funny. Mike Chappell, 5 o'clock hour. We're kind of back to the lengthy injury report. Colts. Man, this season has been, just a roller coaster, right? Like last year was just, what was last year? Last year was the equivalent. It kind of made you sick, so it was like the teacups, right? If it was the equivalent of an amusement park ride, last year was the teacups. Because it really didn't matter, right? You get in there. All you're just trying to do is make yourself sick or somebody with you. And if you're like me, you get in a teacup and you're just going to puke. And last year with a 4-win team, watching the Colts week after week, even in those games in which they were close and almost won, it kind of made you want to puke. So last year was kind of like the teacup ride. This year's been a roller coaster. You start out 1-5, everybody's injured, bits and pieces trying to like a puzzle piece, put this thing together. Just kind of glad that everybody moved on from the Pagano era. I mean, altogether, it was fully, right, at the beginning of this year. It was fully away from Pagano. The Pagano-Grigson era was absolutely, positively over. And then this team starts out 1-5, and we have, I don't even want to say it was a controversy because still most of you out there. And it's kind of funny because that's Texans folks talk about how that game back in September was the kickstart, was the lighter fluid to your fire pit. Equivalent of getting them started now on this 9 consecutive win streak. Maybe so. I will say this, you got to point to something, right? I would just kind of say, all right, you got to win. You're going to be 0-4 had you lost. I mean, you got to point to something. It's kind of like everybody out there that points to this Colts team galvanizing, right? Or coming together themselves because their coach went for it even though they ended up losing the game. It was like the galvanizing, and that's not my point. My point is, well, when they started winning games. Because they were still losing games. They still played horrifically against the Jets, remember. That was after being galvanized, I guess, right? Galvanizing. No, it was about winning. It was about winning. It was about the teams you were playing. It was about getting guys back that had been injured, that were no longer injured. It's a variety of things, right? So I don't know if you can definitively point the finger. If it makes you feel good, then do it. I mean, if it makes you feel good, if you're a member of the Texans, hey, this is when we got this bad boy on track. That was the fire that we needed. As if being 0-3 wasn't good enough. The reality staring in the face of 0-4 or 0-3-1, for goodness sake, right? That wasn't good enough. But the Texans seem to think that was it. And you know what? You win 9 consecutive games. And really, you can point to anything that you want, right? I mean, it's like Bull Durham. You win 20 games in the show, and you can have fungus growing on your shower shoes. Until you do, you're just a slob. I mean, you just make it into whatever you want. I don't necessarily think that, right now, it's tough to point the finger. Like, I know a lot of people, and I was thinking this, had they not lost last weekend in the fashion in which they did, that we probably would be taking a lot more or certainly a broad stroke to that whole September decision. But, I mean, now it's not really the time. Hopefully there's going to be a better time. I mean, hopefully for the Colts, I mean, the one thing they have going for them is, they have looked good. T.Y., and we'll see if T.Y. is going to be able to play. T.Y.'s been injured, and that, to a lot of you, I mean, I talked about the mass unit that they have as far as the injury report is concerned. It is a full meal deal right now. But T.Y. in the past has had his way. So we shall see. But the Texans they're doing a lot of things right now. We talked to John McClain yesterday, running the football, getting production there. Deshaun Watson looking better. I asked John McClain yesterday if he thought, is Deshaun Watson at least in the MVP conversation? Because, I mean, let's just face it. I mean, you're one of the better teams in the AFC. If you've reeled off 9 consecutive wins, it would stand to reason if you have a good quarterback that quarterback's name would be mentioned. However, according to John, that quarterback's name should not be mentioned. And then you move forward. They've gotten a lot out of that offense and running game lately. I still say that Hopkins is the best wide receiver in the National Football League. And you got a defense in particular in J.J. Watt that has found himself. And there were questions surrounding whether or not J.J. Watt was going to be anything in the ballpark of what he once was. And he has been really good this season. So we'll talk about that. Mike Chappell coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, the Colts injury concerns, and basically kind of a win-out scenario, which I think for the bottom of the hour in the Larceny Bourbon Locks, it makes it kind of interesting because I think you know where I stand. I want this thing to be drawn out as long as possible. And mathematically, sure, you still hang in, but I think we all understand what could be the shadow of one more loss this season and what the reality of that might be. Right? I mean, it was like that 3-game home streak. Got to win every one. I think we said from the start against Jacksonville of that 3-game homestand that they had that you could win, or check that, you could lose maybe one more game. And unfortunately, in disappointing fashion, that's what it was on Sunday. It was a game that, frankly, you should have won, could have won. I mean, all you got to do is score a damn touchdown, right? Maybe kick a field goal or two. It's disappointing that that was the game. And that was the way in which it went down. Like, I give you a great example. You go down to Houston, and, man, you're in a shootout, and red-hot Texans get a late field goal and beat you. I think we all sit here the next day and go, oh, man, that's a bummer. But that's certainly easier to digest to me than getting goose-egged on the road by Jacksonville and losing 6-0. Easier to digest. But there is still a chance, and it makes it kind of interesting doing the Larceny Bourbon Locks. I mean, which direction do you want to go for that Colts-Texans game? I mean, how far down are you on the Colts right now? What's the spread? Texans, the 5-point favorite going in to Sunday? Which way might you lean? I mean, again, you got people around here wanting this thing as I want this thing to continue to keep that level of interest. I'm not ready to start talking about free agent. I mean, hell, we do that enough anyway. We do that enough with Le'Veon Bell. Every time Le'Veon Bell goes to stinking Instagram, we have to spend a week on it. Every time he talks about where he would like to go, cryptically, we have to spend about a week on it. I'm not ready to go full-fledged, full bore into it. Full bore into it. We'll see. I'm just not ready. I mean, we'll have plenty of time to do that. We get a good mixing, right? At the start of 2019, you get into January and certainly early February, and you get a really good mixture of college hoop, NBA, a little bit of high school, and some NFL free agency. I kind of want to see the home team around here make it juicy, but they really did themselves a disservice over the weekend in the way that they played to the outcome of that game. So we can discuss that at 239-1070. Email address at jmv@1070thefan.com. You guys are hitting me up right now. Are we going to get another segment of bad and batter as well as it went yesterday? And I put that in quotation marks. You can see me on YouTube right now. The fan page, I'll do the air quotation marks for you. I don't know if we're going to roll that out today. I don't know if that's going to be a daily thing. I think it might be when we feel like doing it, which probably means I'll forget to do it for about a month. Wait a minute. What about that bad and batter thing? That worked so well, yes. Al on the east side had it. Nah, but seriously, yeah, we might. I don't know if we're going to do it daily. It's just like I know this. The whole anything goes thing after 6 only applies is if we go after 6, right? Even though it's fun. Fun as hell, in fact. So I don't know about bad and batter. Plus, I mean, if bad and batter is going to get as popular as you guys telling me it is right now, we're going to have to slap a sponsorship on that bad boy. Come on now. Bad and batter, Al on the east side's deserving of that. Anyway, we got Week 14 of the NFL, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Lunazul shot coming up at the bottom of the hour. I was trying to think, who in the world did I pick for the Oh, yeah, I know who I did. Yeah, it's going to make complete sense to you. Yeah, I could have done the same thing last week, which probably easily figure out. You look at the Ravens remaining, and maybe it's not the Ravens, but I'm just saying the Ravens because they seem to be in the driver's seat right now. Ravens have 4 games remaining, 2 on the road, 2 at home. The 2 home dates versus Tampa Bay and Cleveland. The Roadies at Arrowhead this weekend, and then at the Chargers in Southern California in a couple of weeks. Ravens go 2-2. There's no way in the world they're going to lose 3 out of 4 there, right? So they're going to go 2-2. So you kind of know what you got in front of you right now. I mean, let's face it, too. You got to make up. If you have any intentions on being being interesting and being a part of the conversation late, you got to make up for what that was last weekend. I think what is kind of troublesome about this is all of a sudden, again, you have the injuries kind of taking its toll, right? And then you're coming off a game where you haven't scored against that defense in 6 quarters. And it's not like you came off a Dolphins game where you're tripping the light fantastic offensively either. So we talking about a little bit of a funky funk this time of year maybe. Some injuries, just calls that aren't working, play calls that aren't working, it's overall decisions that aren't working. Where are you with this Colts team right now? And the other question I had regarding the Colts, doesn't matter. Have they done enough? Have they presented enough to you with this rebuild in mind? I mean, I'm not going to suggest this is a goodwill tour, right? But have they presented enough goodwill to you that you are back on the bandwagon if you bailed in a 4-win season a year ago, or maybe you bailed in an 8-win season prior to that? Maybe you bailed when the decision was made to keep Pagano around? I don't know. Maybe you're just somebody that jumps on the bandwagon by virtue of what your team does in the win column. If you are that, you back on. Does this season, regardless, this mini run in the middle of it, I mentioned a little bit earlier, this is kind of like a bookends season. Started out really bad. I mean, really started out thinking, man, there's just not enough on this roster. They go 1-5. That kind of dictates why we thought that in the first place. And then they reel off 5 consecutive, get everybody feeling good again. And then they had that happen on Sunday. So really kind of bookends. Bad, really good, bad. How's the end of the season going to write the story for you as we move forward? Firm believer? You a believer they have to go after somebody that is, let's say, a signature / definitive type of offensive talent? I mean, at this point in time, you kind of been believing in your draft, piecing this together at the grassroots for this team. That's what Ballard and company have been doing, right? I mean, go next level. You got to go out and get some guys that are known guys. Spend on these guys. How happy to this point are you with this squad? How big of a believer are you? With 4 games, well, check they have 4 games remaining. Discussion 239-1070. Email address at JMV at 1070thefan.com. I mentioned too on YouTube. That is our YouTube page, the Fan YouTube page, where you can see me in my handsome, chiseled features sitting right across from you. And we do this differently. I think others decide to go ahead and take it down during the break. I told Tony, what the hell, just leave it up. It's not like I'm going to say anything anyway, right? Just leave the damn thing up. Leave it up. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say anything or do anything anyway, so just leave it up. Leave it up. And given the fact that John and Dennis just walked in from Connecticut, the Connecticut water question of the day is as follows. Regardless of the rest of the way, are you excited? Are you happy about this Colts rebuild? Has this season been satisfying to you? See, right on. You guys walk right in. Walk right in, and the Connecticut water question of the day, boom, there it is. Hey, Tony, I had lunch with these guys today. Normally what I eat for lunch is, you know this, right? What do I normally eat for lunch?
A couple granola bars.
I had 4 of the biggest scallops ever today.
Oh, boy.
I don't 4 big scallops.
Great.
I mean, huge scallops. Are scallops good for you? Right. Scallops good for you. Yeah, cool. 4 big, fat scallops, which were awesome. And I got to thank my guys from Connecticut, John and Dennis, and, of course, Molly and Eric down the hall. We did a little Prime 47 for lunch today, a little lunch kind of meeting, and the scallops were right there. And I said, hell, if the scallops are going to be there, I got to eat them. And they were awesome. Much better than the average granola bar, certainly. So we can discuss that. Connecticut water question of the day. You okay where this thing is right now, moving forward? I mean, enough of a working knowledge that you think this thing is going to be next level? And then the pressure really mounts at making a run where you and your fan base expects this team to make a run, right? I mean, you hear the talk. You really heard the talk last week. It was kind of squashed after that Jacksonville game on Sunday, but you heard the talk. The talk was, all right, as early as next year. You got all that money to spend. You got all this young talent coming together. You have a quarterback that is back from the brink. Now it's your time to push it and push it deep into the postseason. Be one of the top flight teams. They're going to be ready for that prime time coming up next year by virtue of what you saw. And again, we don't know exactly what's going to go down prior to, or I should say during free agency. We don't know what's going to go down leading up until the 2019 season is underway. Satisfied that this is on that type of course. Connecticut Water question of the day. I've said this before, too. I watched Gonzaga in Washington last night. The thing tipped off at 11. I don't know, concluded Hashimura hit a shot to win it about 1 o'clock in the morning or something ridiculous. But by and large, I have been more of an NBA guy. So I found myself last night. I was watching all NBA all the time last night. Pacers weren't on. Pacers don't play again until Friday down in Orlando. I watched the Magic play last night. Had an opportunity to win last night. Just couldn't quite get it done against the Nuggets in Orlando. But to me, even this early in the season, still, the NBA has been as interesting, as good as I can remember. And maybe all it takes is having a local team that's playing at that level as well, that gives you that level of interest. Maybe you buy in with everything even more. I thought last night with really, other than my Sycamores losing, Ball State, obviously. Ball State went on the road at Loyola last night, didn't they? Which was impressive, 75-69.
Yeah, the Zags survived the scare.
Butler winning last night. Yeah, no. Gonzaga, that's how it's going to be with them. They're not going to go out and blow everybody out, whether they're playing in Spokane or anywhere. But I found myself more drawn last night to the NBA, even though the Pacers weren't playing. A lot of really good games last night.
That Nuggets game.
Yep. Man, the Nuggets look good.
Jokic's the real deal, man.
He is is Harris hurt? Did I not?
Yeah, he got hurt 2 games.
That's what I thought. I didn't see him last night.
Tuesday
no wonder
night.
Gary Sr.'s not tracking us down when we go out on Fridays then.
He got hurt 2 nights ago.
So, yeah, I watched that a little bit last night. Watched a little bit of the Spurs and the Lakers last night. The NBA TV does a great job of just kind of going around and then getting you to crunch time and watching when things go down the stretch. Pretty fun. Pretty fun watch. It really is. Anyway, we can hit some NBA if you like. Boilermakers need a win later on tonight. Purdue fans know that, right?
8-point favorites.
Boilermakers are 8-point favorites versus 7-1 Maryland.
Number 23 in the country, the Terrapins.
5-3 are the Boilers. 0-1 in the Big Ten. You do not, it's going to take some kind of Wooden-esque prediction here, right? You do not need to start 0-2. And I said this about IU yesterday. It may not have been anything thrilling. It's not something that you're going to go back to on your DVR and be excited about. But what it did do is it got this Hoosier team to 2-0 in the conference before really officially the conference gets started, right, in January. That's where it got you. It's got to make you feel good. Purdue's got to get this thing even up against a tough game at home tonight versus the Maryland Terrapins. We can discuss that at 239-1070. Email address jmv@1070thefan.com. Connecticut Water question of the day. That's what you have. My man Brent Halverson's over there. We've got Week 14 dialed up and ready to go with our Larceny locks coming up at the bottom of the hour. Luna Zool shot. I'll give you the player I think fantasy-wise. By the way, 2 fantasy football teams. You guys are starting the postseason. I'm kind of screwed. What was I, a 2 seed?
Yeah,
overall?
You are. Still are.
I was a 2 seed. I think Ben has been unbeaten so far. But you watch. I'm going to make a prediction right here. I'm a 2 seed. I had the second best record in our 1070 The Fan League this year, and I'll go out in the first round of the postseason. That is a guarantee. My squad is kind of a mess right now for a variety of reasons, both injury-wise and certainly stupidity-wise. It's just messed up from the neck up right now. So I go, 10-3 this year? You watch me. I'll lose in the first round of the postseason. I'll be like the Kansas City Chiefs.
You are, as of right now, John, you're projected to lose by 11.
Am I really?
Yep. So am I, though.
Do I have people? Maybe I haven't put anybody in the lineup yet. Who does this predicting bull crap? I'm already predicted to lose by what?
Yep.
I'm like the Kansas City Chiefs, like the modern-day Kansas City Chiefs.
I only have a chance if Melvin Gordon gives it a go because I lost Emmanuel Sanders.
Got, you know who I lost. Idiot. So, it doesn't matter. Whatever. I did make a bad move with Marlon Mack earlier. That's a big deal right now, but he has given a couple. I need the tight ends to, like, turn around a little bit now. I've been living much like the Colts have been living now, and now all your tight ends are injured or sick. I was living on my tight ends. I was living on Ertz and Ebron. I mean, I pick up a tight end, these guys all of a sudden score a bunch of points. The hell, now everybody's getting dinged up and hurt. Come on. Anyway, we'll discuss that too. Larceny Bourbon Locks, bottom of the hour. Brent Halverson's going to be in studio. Charles Arbuckle, Sirius XM, talks college football after 4. Mike Chappell and Brian Billick, the former NFL head coach and NFL Network analyst, going to join us coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. Iron Maiden tickets. We have also tickets for you to see Hootie and the Blowfish. I'll send those out coming up in just a bit. And we'll do some thoughts too. The Connecticut Water question of the day and a lot more for you. But week 14 in full-scale discussion. The Larceny Locks. Other side next.
In the heart of downtown Carmel, great chefs meet at Joe's Butcher Shop in Fish Market. They come looking for Indiana-raised, hormone and antibiotic-free pork, beef, and chicken. They select sauces and seasonings from the local artisan community to complement their dry-aged beef and mouth-watering baby back ribs. And because man can't live by beef alone, Joe's offers a tasty selection of wild-caught fish you don't usually find here in Indiana at Joe's Butcher Shop and Fish Market. Busy people know when there's no time to cook, it's time to stop by Joe's next door in downtown Carmel for a quick bite or a meal to take home to the family. Their chef-prepared sandwiches, salads, and complete meals are made with the best ingredients. Hosting a party or office lunch, Joe's deli trays and sandwiches can be delivered right to your door. Hungry? Well, then stop by Joe's next door on Main Street in downtown Carmel, or look for them online at joesnextdoor.com.
Hoosier fans, it's Indiana basketball time. IU Basketball Mini Series tickets are now available in 6-game or 3-game ticket packages, as well as individual games. This is your chance to check out the Hoosiers inside beautiful Simon Scott Assembly Hall. For more information, call or text 812-855-4006 or visit iuhoosiers.com. Go IU.
At Huntington, we're always looking out for you. So when our customers told us it can be tough to keep track of spending, we invented the self-driving grocery cart.
Wait, so what is this thing again?
It's my self-driving cart from Huntington.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. It's a smart shopping cart that helps me stay on budget at the grocery store.
How does it do that?
Well, it's pretty simple. It makes sure everything I put in my cart keeps me on track. Watch. If I grab this really expensive bottle of olive oil and try to put it in the cart, it drives away. And when I put the olive oil down, pretty cool, huh?
What happens if I just toss the olive oil in real quick? Like this.
That happens.
So we simplified. Presenting Huntington Heads Up. You set the monthly amounts you want to spend on groceries, and we'll send a heads up to your phone to keep you on track. It's just one more way we're looking out for you. Huntington, welcome. Member FDIC, carriers message and data rates may apply.
Grateful Dead members Mickey Hart, Bill Kreutzmann, and Bob Weir, along with John Mayer, take to the stage again as Dead & Company. Summer Tour 2019. See them live in concert at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center on June 12th. Pre-sale for City Card members available now through Friday at 10 p.m. before the general public on Saturday at 10 a.m. Get tickets at livenation.com. For more, check out deadandcompany.com.
Hey, Dad. I wanted to remind you that the holidays are close. Real close. And Mom and I don't need wool socks again. At Hellsberg, you can get jewelry for Mom and get a free Nintendo Switch system for me. 2 gifts in one trip. I'm not saying you're a last-minute shopper, but I'm not saying that either.
Get gifts that give gifts at Hellsberg Diamonds, like a free Nintendo Switch system when you spend $1,199 or more. Hellsberg Diamonds, a Berkshire Hathaway company. Limited time offer while supplies last. See online or in-store for details. Game sold separately.
Hey, John here for Connecticut Water, the best water out there. So there's no better time now to hear about Connecticut Water than having John and Dennis from Connecticut in here. I talk about these deals on a daily basis a couple of times. What are some of the good deals do you have going down for the holiday season, John? What do you got?
Well, actually, this is the perfect time
it is
for
perfect.
JMV because we are doing our year-end closeout and blowout sale. This is typically where our customers can get the best bargains on Connecticut water equipment at this time of year. So please look us up on Connecticut.com, ConnecticutIndy.com. Call us, and we will try to set them up the way we did you.
Dennis, step to the microphone here and tell everybody how the in-home drinking water system is a life changer, a game changer. It is awesome.
Absolutely life changer. The best drinking water system that's out there on the market today. If you haven't tried it, you have to. And once you do, you will be a believer.
No doubt about that. The Premier Series water softener, the in-home drinking water station, it is the best water. I know my man Tucker Barnhart's listening right now, so he knows it. Kristen Neri's listening right now. He knows it, and you will too. Just in time for the holiday season, slide by 2 locations here in central Indiana to serve you. The northeast side in Castleton, south side, that's US 31 and Southport Road. And you can find my guys, John and Dennis and Joe and the gang online. ConnecticutIndy.com today.
Butler Basketball's next 2 home games at Hinkle Fieldhouse will be December 5th and December 8th, so mark your calendars and get your tickets. Visit the Hinkle Fieldhouse ticket office or butlersports.com/buy tickets to secure seats for Wednesday, December 5th, when Brown from the Ivy League comes to Hinkle. Then on Saturday, December 8th, Northern Illinois visits Hinkle for a late afternoon tip-off. Again, visit butlersports.com/buy tickets or stop by the Hinkle ticket office weekdays from 10 to 4. The Butler Bulldogs, your hometown team, playing on a national stage.
Hey, Dan Doggage for Family Leisure. It's the buy one, get one half off Christmas sale. Buy one of the many specially marked items store-wide and get half off the second item. Buy an arcade, get a game table, half off. Buy a spa, get a pool table, half off. Buy a shuffleboard table, get a massage chair, half off. The combinations are endless. Shop for someone on your list and get half off an item for yourself. Don't miss the buy one, get one half off sale now at Family Leisure from the Family Leisure team. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
The season is still early. The Pacers are finding their way in the East.
Ahead to Turner, he'll take it in.
And you can hear every play of every game on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Oh, Ladipo. Oh,
Next up for the blue and gold, the Pacers head to Orlando to take on the Magic. Friday at 6:30, Mark Boyle has the call.
6 seconds to go. 3 ball.
On FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan, your home for Pacers basketball. The Ride with JMV.
Hey, Tony, get your bag and get the hell out of here, will you?
On FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Oh, thank you, man. I love Thursdays here. We got week 14 to get into. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Shot. Guys at Connecticut's in here as well. Brent Halverson, per usual, is with us in studio. You ready to go? We got everybody ready to go over here.
Look at this crowd today.
How about the crowd in here?
I tell you what, there's not a better group of guys to be standing next to, so I feel
I
blessed.
know you guys knew one another from the Backyard Bourbon broadcast.
Absolutely,
so,
and
yeah.
I am the proud owner of a Connecticut water system in my house.
Yes, indeed you are.
And I have to say, while I'm at it, it's been a life changer for us.
The in-home drinking water station is like no other.
We
right
went
there.
from nothing to that, and now it's like, wow.
Yeah.
What took so long? So anyway, thank you guys.
It is awesome. It's John and Dennis from Connecticut's in here with us, and Brent Halverson with our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Shots. Tony, hit the intro for us, would you?
It's the Larceny Locks and Shots of the week.
Smooth. Smooth.
There we go. Brent's in here. The guys from Connecticut in here as well. We got, the start of Week 14 is tonight within the AFC South. Jacksonville, Tennessee. Tennessee, the home favorites, -5.5. Give me the Titans at home against Jacksonville, even after that win last week. Brent, what do you say?
I think you're right. Tennessee at home. Tennessee's been playing some good ball. Jacksonville has not. They put up a 6 spot against the Colts in 7 innings. Wasn't it 6-0 bottom of 7th?
Yep. And Tony, you can pick me up over here too. I got the NFL films in the background over here ready to rock for you. Oh yeah.
It's the same one I'm playing right now.
Yeah, I got many others right here. Look, I got the book right here, the catalog.
10 hours
right in front
of it.
me.
Is that not enough?
Oh, you got 10 hours of it?
Yeah, but go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Give me the Tennessee Titans laying the 5 at home tonight.
The Titans for Brent Halverson. Tony, what do you got?
Yeah, certainly the Titans and the points tonight.
Baltimore and Kansas City. We are watching the Ravens. I think this is going to be all KC all the time. However, the line isn't as large as I thought it might be. The Chiefs at Arrowhead are 6.5-point home favorites. Give me KC anyway.
I think you can't go against Kansas City right now, right? But that line has dropped from 9, so there's a little bit of money on Baltimore, and Baltimore's got a little, they're still in the playoff hunt. So I tell you what, though, me and my homies, I'm rolling with my homies, Patrick and the Kansas City Chiefs at home.
The Luna Zool shot. Spencer Ware.
Ooh, I like it.
I probably should have done that last week because that could have been last week too. But we took Lindsey last week, and he was big.
Well, he was.
Actually,
sure.
Tony was the one that told me to take him. But last week, that was big. I'm going to go Spencer Ware, I think, this week.
I think it's a great call. I mean, you got to like his, it's going to be probably a high-scoring game, right? Total's 51.5.
You'd think so.
You got those Chiefs that they can't be stopped. So
yep, you'd think so.
I'm rolling with the homies.
Tony, what do you got?
Yeah, I liked Baltimore when it was at 9 points, and now it continues to come down because, as Brent mentioned, so I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I'm going to take the points, and I like the over on that one, too. I see a 38-30 game.
Carolina fired a couple of assistant coaches, one being Brady Hoke this past week. They have been scuffling down to the finish here. They are 1.5-point favorites on the road at Cleveland. I'm still going to take the Browns, I think. There looks like that there is a lot of FUBAR working with Carolina. Give me the Browns at home and see what happens from there.
Those are scary words.
I know.
I'm going to take the Browns, but I'm going to join you. I think.
Are you really? See,
give me the home dog, and this is a true dog, right?
It
the
is.
Dog pound.
It is the true dog pound. Yes.
At Cleveland 7-5 against the spread. Isn't that a pretty astonishing number?
Yeah.
I mean, they're 4-7, I think, is their record, right?
Tony,
I'm going to go with the Panthers. Don't know why. Just going to do it.
Atlanta and Green Bay. This is a battle of what has been not living up to expectations. Green Bay, a 5-point favorite at home. They fired Mike McCarthy earlier in the week. I mean, Atlanta's limping to the finish as well. Getting rid of your coach, Joe Philbin's going to take over. I'm going to go ahead and lay the 5 and take the Packers at home for no really good reason. That's
this is a coin flip game. Being an owner of the Packers like myself,
you are.
Philbin he's trying out right now. He's got 4 games to prove what he can do. If the players respond to him and they get out there and give him all.
No way in the world he's going to be the coach there.
Well, they're going to play for him. They're going to play for him.
I know you're the Packer guy.
Who are you thinking?
Well, it's not going to be him. So,
who you got? You think it's Josh McDaniels? That's kind of the interior word.
I would say that it probably starts there. I've got some dude telling me it's going to be Brian Kelly, although I don't believe it.
That wouldn't be bad.
Think Brian Kelly and Aaron Rodgers would have a good relationship?
No.
I don't either.
I don't
either.
Yeah.
But I would say Josh McDaniels, you're going to have to deal with that. Maybe as a Packer fan, you get like the 11th hour bailout job like we got here.
Well, I'm going up to audition for it next week, so
Why
let's see
you?
what we can do, huh?
So not Joe Philbin.
Not Joe Philbin.
But we'll see how they play for him. I'm going with the Packers.
I'm torn here, but I'm going to go with the Packers with the heart on this pick and lay the 5 points. Look for an Aaron Rodgers bust out finally.
Tony.
Yeah, is that tree still up in your house, the Packer tree, Brent?
It is, but I've hung a few different ornaments on there now, Tony, just to kind of.
You got a Lynn Dickey ornament there?
I do. Number 12.
An old Charles
I
Martin
got an
ornament.
Arizona Cardinals
James
one.
Lofton, Eddie Lee Ivory. Remember my boys?
Man, I remember back when they were terrible.
Oh, they were horrible.
Consistently
That's how I grew
terrible.
up in elementary school, middle school. I mean, that was a 3 and 12
I remember
seasons.
when Don Mikowski got there.
Oh, he's our lifeline.
You would have thought that Joe Montana was. I mean, they had like one really good year there as the Magic Man.
1991, the magic happened.
As the Magic Man, and they dug out of a hole that they were in forever.
They did, and then we got this little guy out of Southern Miss to come up and join us for the next 15 years. So it's been a nice little run.
Brought his jorts and everything up there. Tony, what do you have? Falcons and Packers.
These are probably top of the list of the two most disappointing teams that we've seen this year.
That is true.
I'm going to go with the Packers just because of the home field advantage. Matt Ryan hasn't been able to play on the road.
No Falcon way.
The Larceny Bourbon locks going on right now. Saints, Tampa Bay. This is what's kind of interesting. The Saints are 8-point favorites on the road at the Buccaneers. I'm going to go ahead and take the 8 points and take the Buccaneers at home.
I'm going to get you there, John.
I'm crazy.
You are a little bit crazy, but I like that about you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, really a good trait for you there.
A little crazy.
Give me the New Orleans Saints, and again, they're just playing tough, 9-3 against the spread. Tampa's still in it mathematically. Give me the Saints for a big bounce back, if you will.
Tony,
I'm with you there too. I think they'll win big. They'll knock out their in-division rival to knock them out of the playoff hopes. Give me the Saints in a blowout.
Buffalo, -3.5. They're the favorites at home versus the Jets. I'm going to take the Bills against the Jets at home again for no really good reason. Brent?
This is one of those games that it's going to be 3-0, 6-3, 9-6. Tony's classic under call, which I will definitely be on that under. But I'm going to take the Jets plus that 3.5, probably buy it up to 4. Look for a field goal game.
Tony?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I was going to ask you, is this the lowest over-under we've seen all year at 38.5? Some even have it at 38. That's probably as low as you're going to see throughout the NFL, not just this year, but probably ever. It's going to come right down to the wire. So take the points. Take the crappy team and the points as far as the crappy team giving up points.
You know, tonight, Tony, is I think it's 37.5 in that Tennessee-Jacksonville game. Yep. So another good classic under game to play.
New England, 7.5-point favorites at Miami coming up on Sunday. I am going to go ahead and lay the points and take the Patriots on the road. Brent?
Still, I find it amazing that Miami's in the hunt, but they still are. But I still can't take it. Give me the New England Patriots on the road. By that half point, take it to 7.
Tony.
Yeah, it seems like that Miami 4-1 start was 5 years ago as opposed to 5 weeks ago. I'll definitely take New England on the road down in Miami.
Rams and Bears with the Rams. 3-point favorites at Soldier Field in Chicago. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Rams. I kind of want to take the Bears just for the heck of it, but give me the favorite Rams on the road.
I know what you're saying because I was the same way looking at this game. I mean, it's a low number. You're looking at 3 points. Rams are favored on the road. Rams are only 4-5-2 against the spread throughout the year, and the Bears are at 8-4. But I'm going to give me those Rams. I really like that game, laying the 3.
Tony.
Yeah, Mitch Trubisky probable in this game, so that makes it pretty much a must-watch game. I think it's going to be a good one. I'll take the Rams to pull away with the late touchdown. I'll take the 4.5 of the Rams.
Giants, Redskins, -3.5. The Giants are the favorites. I'm going to take NY on the road in D.C. Brent?
Giants have been somewhat hot for an ugly team. They've came back and played well the last 4 weeks, and I'm going to join you there. Give me the New York Giants because Mark Sanchez is now quarterback for the Washington Redskins, and I will take us 5 against Mark Sanchez. So give
not
me
a big
the
Sanchez.
New York Giants.
You're not a Sanchez guy over there. I got you, Tony.
Yeah, I'm right there. If you ever see me put my money on the Bud fumble, just take my money from me and run. I'll take the Giants here.
Broncos, Frisco, Emmanuel Sanders, Achilles torn, done for the season. Broncos, however, 4-point favorites at Levi Stadium. I'm going to go ahead and lay the 4 and keep the Broncos intact on the road, Brent Halverson.
Hey, this is a big game right here. I've got a double shot, Lunazul, double shot of the week here. And I'm going to go one on each side. So
okay.
Fantasy guys that are still on the waiver wire that you can grab right now, a receiver for each team. Give me Cortland Sutton, wide receiver for the Denver Broncos.
Okay.
And then also give me Dante Pettis, wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers, who have he's torn it up. He did very well last week. Look for another big week this week. But give me the Denver Broncos laying the 4 to win on the road.
Brent Halverson, the Lunazul double shot right there. Tony, what do you got for game?
Yeah, I've hated taking Denver all year, but I'm going to take them in this game. Don't trust San Francisco even at home. I'll take the 4 and Denver.
Bengals, Chargers, Southern California, -14. That's a big fat point spread right there, but still give me the Bolts over the Bengals with that spread in SoCal on Sunday. Brent?
I agree with you. A lot of points, but still, I mean, the Cincinnati Bengals, they're demolished this year, right?
They look pretty demolished,
good.
yes.
But they're still in it. I mean, they're still in it.
They're still in
5-7,
it. Yeah.
Technically speaking, or mathematically. But give me the Chargers. They look too good, too powerful. I look for Chargers to win by 24.
Tony.
Yeah, the Chargers are tough. Hopefully they get Melvin Gordon back for the sake of my fantasy team. The Bengals have
I think
struggled.
he's listed as out, is he not?
He's out.
He's out right now,
yeah.
I saw questionable earlier, so yeah. But indeed, going to still go with the Chargers.
Lions, Cardinals in a game that really nobody cares about at all except for us. -3, that would make the Lions the road favorites in the desert. Give me Detroit again for no good reason. Brent Holverson.
This is why there are lines on games. You want to watch a game? Here's why.
Nobody would give a fat crap about it.
Nobody's
You're
going to
right.
give a fat crap. I'll tell you what, though. Give me Arizona, the home dog, who just went in Green Bay.
Right.
And won in Green Bay. That's tough. But I'm going to take Arizona at home plus the 3 points in probably a lower scoring game. Call it 17-14.
Tony.
Yeah,
Sweet.
Not a big fan of Arizona. I'm going to take the Lions. But yeah, that's going to be under 20 for probably both teams. So that's another under game.
What else we got on the schedule here? Oh, yeah. Philadelphia and Dallas coming up, too, with the Cowboys, the 3.5-point favorites. Give me Dallas. Dallas looks really good right now. Really good.
John, I'm going to label this the larceny lock of the week for myself. Give me Dallas Cowboys. And I hate saying that because I'm not a Dallas fan whatsoever.
Just go ahead and lock it in then.
But Philly, they just look ugly. I mean, that game against Washington the other night, it was just ugly. They just don't have that firepower that they had last year. Lock it in. Give me Dallas laying the 3.
Tony.
I'm going to go Philly. I'm going to take Philly in the points.
Steelers, Raiders. Give me the Steelers. Lay the 10.5 points on the road in Oakland. Brent Holverson.
Hey, I don't see how you can take the Raiders right now. Give me the same thing. Give me Pittsburgh. I'm gonna buy the half point. Call it 10.
Hello, Tony.
My lock of the week goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They will cover the 10. And my shot of the week, Lunazul shot of the tequila, the Big Ben. Oakland 32nd, last in the league against the pass. Big Ben and the bounce back throws for 4 touchdowns.
Monday night Vikings Seahawks -3 would make Seattle the home favorites. Give me the Sea Chickens at home on Monday night, Brad.
Caw. Give me the chickens as well.
Yeah.
Look for a little.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly. 7-3-2 against the spread this year. Minnesota, they're playing for their life, but I think Seattle's been playing great. Give me the Sea Chickens at home.
Tony.
Yeah, Seattle's found some magic as of late. I'll take the Seahawks as well.
There must have been some magic in that old silk. See, this time of year we think about Frosty the Snowman. Come on over here, guys. My Connecticut guys, John and Dennis, are coming back because I want everybody in here to do the Colts and the Texans pick. 1 o'clock coming up on Sunday. Pregame show begins with me and Big Joe at 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. I've got the Colts and I've got the Texans. Houston, 4.5-point favorites. Let me tell you this. I'm not a big believer in the Colts coming off of that game now to win on the road, but for the sake of all love and interest as we get deeper into December and the opportunity to stay within the playoff picture, I'm going to go against the grain, against what I think would be better thought. And, Brent, I'm going to take the Colts on the road and take that 4.5-point bulge all the way to the bank.
I love the pick, John. I really do. I can't do it. I'm playing with money here.
It sounds like that I'm a homer, and I'm not trying to be a
No,
homer.
I get it. I get it.
I'm not trying to be a homer here, and I haven't been all year. It sounds like it, but I'm going to go ahead and see what happens here. I'm going to see if these dudes can bounce back.
I like the call.
And end what they started.
I hope
if
you're
you know
right.
what I mean. End what they started.
I do, and I hope you're right.
What they started.
After last week's game, they didn't give me a lot of confidence here. So I'm going to take that 9-3 Houston Texans squad to win the game.
Dennis from Connecticut, what do you got?
I think I'm going to have to go Indianapolis in the points. I expect it to be a close one, just like the first one, so I'll take the 4.5.
John from Connecticut.
I've got to go the other way, guys. I've got to take the team on the streak. You got to score to cover. And if I'm not mistaken, Houston's on a 9-game winning streak.
They have
that is correct.
9.
I will.
It's a Principal Rooney.
Texans are
9 times consecutive. My man John's going with the Texans. And listen, smart money's right there. Tony, what say you?
I'm going to go with the Colts and the backdoor cover. I see this thing 27-24 Texans. 27-17 late. Andrew Luck, 2-minute drill, gets it going, gets a touchdown. They don't get the onside kick. Texans need out to a 27-24 win, so I will take the Colts plus the 4.
Do we even need to watch the game? That was laid out like
the backdoor cover's boring, though. I mean,
Well,
if you're going to
I don't
pick
care
him
how
to
you
cover,
cover
pick him
it
to
as long
win.
as you do.
All right.
He likes the back door too, John.
Week 14 of the NFL season. Man, I'm way over here. I'm way over here. Thank you guys from Connecticut to come in. Thank you, Brent Halverson, as well.
Thank you, John.
Larceny Bourbon, the Locks,
Thanks, Tony.
Luna Azul Shots in studio today. Next week, we're going to be at the Slippery Noodle, correct?
Slippery Noodle next week, and go see my boy Cap, who recently had a little baby girl, Dakota.
I heard all about that.
So we'll go see Cap and Hal and the gang over at Slippery Noodle. Looking forward to it.
You guys are awesome. John and Dennis from Connecticut, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome, guys. In studio, Week 14 of the NFL, our Larceny Locks Luna Azul Shots. Top of the hour, Charles Arbuckle, college football. Your phone calls and more next.
Do you have a love-hate relationship with your credit card? You love the freedom and convenience the credit card gives you, but you hate the high interest rates? And let's face it, they're high. 17, 18, even 20% APR? That's pretty outrageous. But with Lightstream's credit card consolidation loan, rather than throwing your money away on high interest payments, you can get a much lower rate, as low as 6.14% APR with AutoPay. And today, if you want an even lower rate, apply at lightstream.com/radio for a special discount. Plus, with Lightstream, your rate is fixed, so as rates continue to rise, your rates won't budge. They'll stay low. You can get a loan from $5,000 to $100,000, which means you can pay off your credit card and start paying an interest rate you can really love, thanks to Lightstream.
Ready to start saving? Apply now at lightstream.com/radio. That's right. Get your extra discount by applying today at lightstream.com/radio. That's lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rate includes 0.5% auto-pay discount. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
It's exciting when a company grows to give its community and others around it a product that they can be proud of. It's even more exciting when that company expands to our community. Yoder Oil is now delivering unleaded and premium diesel fuels to Indianapolis. Now for Indianapolis industries that rely on lubricant products like Citgo, Mystic, and Clarion lubricants and fuel, it's good to know they can now order from a company that's been growing for over 80 years. Yoder Oil. The letters WIBC get you 10% off your first order. YoderOil.com.
Smartphone, can you access my wife's smartphone and find out what she wants for Christmas?
Let me check that for you. Her recent searches include diamond earrings, diamond pendants, diamond bracelets. Is that enough of a hint?
Diamond jewelry, huh? Which store comes up in those searches?
You don't need a smartphone to know that answer. It's Diamonds Direct, of course. No middleman prices, highest quality jewelry, unbeatable selection. Surely you've heard about them on the radio.
Well, yeah, but
Geez, pal. You want me to download the commercial for you too?
Make this the best Christmas ever with something special from Diamonds Direct. From $200 to $200,000, we have an unbeatable selection of dazzling diamonds and fashion jewelry. And now through the end of December, you can make any purchase and spread your payments out over 3 years with zero interest. And if you're popping the question over the holidays, we have an expanded selection of GIA certified diamonds from a half carat up to 10 carats in stock at the guaranteed best prices in America. Diamonds Direct with expanded hours including Sundays now till Christmas. Happy holidays from Diamonds Direct.
Keystone at the Crossing.
This is a shout out to the professional tailgaters, game day grillers, and potluck pros. Whether you bake it, smoke it, stack it, or melt it, there's nothing more important than how you cook up your team spirit while serving it with an ice-cold Coca-Cola or Coke Zero Sugar. We may not all agree on the best game day foods, but when you serve your meals with a Coke, you know you've got yourself a winner. Pick up a custom Colts commemorative cup at your nearest Arby's. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling.
Hey, Sean here for ATI Physical Therapy. That's ATIPT.com, just for you. You don't have to live with the pain any longer. You really don't. So it's ATI Physical Therapy. Brad Howell and Evan McDowd to the rescue, getting over those aches and pains and getting you back on track immediately with locations in central Indiana to serve you and make sure you don't have to deal with the pain. They'll get you in within 48 hours and back you on the feeling good path. That's ATIPT.com today.
Twin Peaks is the ultimate sports lodge you've been searching for. The local source for sports on wall-to-wall TVs and the most scenic views in the market. Everything on the fan-favorite menus made from scratch. Pair the new Nashville hot chicken sandwich with a local indie brew served at a frosty 29 degrees by a beautiful Twin Peaks girl. And Twin Peaks man cards are the perfect gift for the sports fan on your list. Purchase your gift cards today. Get a little something extra in return. Offer available at participating restaurants and online. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
So it's 1 hour heating and air conditioning. JMV here for 1 hour at 855 1 hour. And knowing that your furnace may be on its last legs, or maybe even not that, but not giving you the overall energy efficiency that you need to keep things warm in your home, or better yet, to keep those energy costs down. Let them come out, find out exactly what's going on, and if you need it, my friends can offer this up. A new HVA system, just $88 a month. That's $88 a month. 855 1 hour. Tell them I sent you. 855 1 hour. It's 1 hour heating and air conditioning today.
Looking for that perfect holiday gift? Check out the Pacers' new 5-game holiday plan. You'll get tickets to see the defending NBA champion Golden State Warriors, the Boston Celtics, and the new-look Toronto Raptors.
Picks it up and sends a bounce pass into Sabonis, who lays it in.
Oh, boy.
Plus, every plan includes a Pacers plaid flannel winter hat to keep you warm throughout the holiday season. Plans start as low as $25 per game. Check out seating options and all the details at pacers.com/holiday.
Hey, this is Jeff Saturday for More Restoration, and you've heard me talk about More Restoration for years. I've used More Restoration 3 times on my home. I care about my family, and More made me feel confident in using them. Speaking of confident, they have a new service. It's a hospital-quality disinfectant that is safe for your home, and it's endorsed by the EPA. Within a few hours, More Restoration can disinfect your entire home. Best of all, nothing needs moved, and it's safe for all your belongings. This service makes it safe to come home. Call More Restoration Disaster Cleanup and tell them Jeff Saturday sent you.
Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
The soft tropical air caresses your skin with a gentle kiss.
FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
All right, man. Yeah, let's go ahead and rewind this. I may have to change this whole Colts pick here. Because as we were talking, anybody happen to see the Colts injury report listed for today? Mo Alley Cox, DNP. Eric Ebron, DNP. T.Y. Hilton, DNP. Marcus Hunt, DNP. Dontrell Inman, DNP. Ryan Kelly, DNP. Mike Mitchell, DNP. Nate Harrison, DNP. Chris Milton, DNP. Eric Swope, DNP. Malik Cooker, LP. Chester Rogers, LP. Clayton Geathers was back, though. Hey, Clayton's back? Good Lord. That is a list right there, everybody. That's a lengthy one. Ridiculous. JMV. Colts should not have ripped out that 4th down conversion by Luck reception from the playbook. Yeah, I'm still glad that hopefully they ripped that bad boy out, to be honest with you. Yeah, even with the goose egg last week, I don't really think we need to see that one again. Hey, the whole special, I'm down with the special again if they need it. I'm down with that. JMV, have you seen the rumors about the Reds trying to get Diamondback center fielder A.J. Pollock? Is there anybody going to be left in the Diamondbacks uniform? They've, given up everybody, right? I saw that. Center fielder, what did he hit a year ago? I don't know, 260, something like that. I think he had over 20 home runs. I have seen that. The Bauer-Kluber conversation has quieted a great deal, though. Hey, do something over there, Redlegs. How about it? How about throw me a bone, huh?
What?
Throw us Reds fans a bone over there, would you? Come on. All right, quick one.
All right, we'll sign Bartolo.
Yeah. Charles Arbuckle joins us coming up on the other side,
4:30.
too. 4:30 for Charles? All right, 4:30 for Charles. Hey, you and me on the other side, 239-1070. Regardless of what happens, has this been a good Colts season in your opinion? You and I could answer that question next.
Think you know Colts football?
57 yards.
But do you really know what's happening? It's not just football season. It's Venturi season.
This is Rick Venturi. I'll be breaking down the Colts play all season long on The Fan, presented by the District Tap, located on 82nd Street, just east of Keystone Crossing. 60 beers on tap and damn good food.
Catch the coach with JMV Mondays, Wednesdays with Dan Takich, and Grady and Big Joe on Fridays. Presented each week by the District Tap.
Chronic headaches, headaches, constant sinus infections, pain and pressure. The fatigue was overwhelming.
That's Karen. She suffered for years with chronic sinus infections. She'd go to urgent care, see her doctor.
And we would do the same thing: steroids, antibiotics, nasal sprays.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Indianapolis Sinus Center called balloon sinuplasty.
Now my sinus cavities are open. You can breathe on a constant basis and not get sinus infections. I don't get headaches anymore. I don't take naps anymore. I'm like, oh, this is miraculous.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure? Is it difficult to breathe through your nose? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with the Indianapolis Sinus Center. Call 317-528-9650. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650.
I'm John for BullseyeEventGroup.com and the Colts VIP Tailgate. How about it, huh? Seriously, would you like to be there? Sure you would. All you can eat, all you can drink. And if you want to package, this is everything. What a great gift idea for the holiday season. So the NFL fan or the Sunday Fun Day fan in your life, how about this? How about tickets to a Colts game, Colts VIP tailgate passes, and parking right on Capitol, right next to the Bullseye Event Center in the Lucas Oil Stadium parking lot. If you dig on that, there's a great gift idea for the football fan in your life that likes to party too. How many football fans do you know that likes to party? All of them? Exactly. An easy gift-giving idea with BullseyeEventGroup.com. It is spectacular. I promise you will love it. Music inside and out. DJ Indiana Jones, who, by the way, happy birthday. His birthday's tomorrow. And DJ Skids on the inside. It is awesome. Just in time for the holiday season and your gift-giving idea. BullseyeEventGroup.com right now.
Chad and Tyler Peterman for Peterman Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Before Old Man Winter arrives, there's still time to call Peterman for our $59 preseason furnace tune-up.
It's a great way to make sure your home stays comfortable in cold weather.
And at just $59, our furnace tune-up is a smart investment for your peace of mind.
But don't delay. Winter will be here sooner than you think.
Schedule your $59 preseason tune-up today.
Call 859-4270. Peterman's the way to go.
Hey, Dan Doggins for Family Leisure. It's the buy one, get one half off Christmas sale. Buy one of the many specially marked items store-wide and get half off the second item. Buy an arcade, get a game table, half off. Buy a spa, get a pool table, half off. Buy a shuffleboard table, get a massage chair, half off. The combinations are endless. Shop for someone on your list and get half off an item for yourself. Don't miss the buy one, get one half off sale now at Family Leisure from the Family Leisure team. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Grateful Dead members Mickey Hart, Bill Kreutzmann, and Bob Weir, along with John Mayer, take to the stage again as Dead & Company. Summer Tour 2019. See them live in concert at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center on June 12th. Pre-sale for City Card members available now through Friday at 10 p.m. before the general public on Saturday at 10 a.m. Get tickets at livenation.com. For more, check out deadandcompany.com.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BB, W228CX, Indianapolis.
Hey, join me tomorrow. I'm going to pick every NFL game, and you're going to be smarter or richer or both, depending on you. And I'm also going to set up the weekend in college hoops. It's Louisville, IU, big weekend.
The Ride with JMV.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Weekdays 3 till 7 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Varsity Locks, Louisville shot, hour one. Spencer Ware's my guy this week. I mean, listen, to me, there are a lot of Notre Dame fans around here, right? And you guys tell me all the time, talk about Notre Dame, discuss Notre Dame. Why do you want to talk about these middling other Indiana teams? Talk about the Irish there in the Final Four. All right. So I bring them up. But honestly, if you didn't have that much of a rooting interest in Notre Dame around here, would you give one big fat crap at all about this college playoff? I mean, it's kind of like the usual suspects here, right? I mean, you haven't seen Alabama enough. Clemson, Oklahoma. What's going to happen? Somebody's going to play Alabama. Somebody's going to look really good for about a half of football, and Alabama's going to storm back and win, right? Is that kind of what happens every time?
Yeah, but the real question...
That's what happened last week. That's what happened against Georgia.
Real question is who you got in that Cheez-It Bowl?
The Cheez-It Bowl.
Cal or TCU?
I love Cheez-Its. What's your favorite Cheez-It?
The grooves. I like
the reduced fat.
No, why would I eat anything reduced
I like
fat?
I like the snack mix myself. Except, man, you guys in the snack mix, you guys they
like
always
Ritz Bits.
they always have to overindulge with the pretzels. All right, why do you have to overindulge with the pretzels? Are they the cheapest? Is that why? Corey Hall writes this, hey, JMV, I've heard a lot of rumors saying the Reds are going hard after Dallas Keuchel. Yeah, I'd heard that a couple of days ago, too, but I really haven't seen too much since then.
Great. Exciting.
A.J. Pollock, center fielder, and, obviously the Reds without a center fielder because they let Billy Hamilton walk, which probably would make a little bit of sense right there. Hip Hugger writes this, why would you do this? JMV's head takes up 3/4 of the screen. What Hip Hugger's talking about here, we're on YouTube right now. YouTube, the fan channel right here. Find it.
YouTube's, man.
And I'm live, local, and late breaking right here in your face.
It's me. It's man. It's YouTube's, man. It's
right in your
gamer.
face, everybody. Hey, JMV, my Volunteers play Gonzaga on Sunday. Hopefully they can pull off the upset at the Jerry Colangelo Invitational in Phoenix. I saw that, actually. Man, Gonzaga goes out and plays teams. Got to give them that. They go out and they play teams, which is impressive. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. JMV, in response to your question a little bit earlier, I'm so stoked on the Colts. I am wearing my Color Rush cargo rompers 24/7. This is Tom in Clayton, Indiana. Yeah, but are you going to the game? I thought about this a little bit. Next home dates against the Cowboys. How many people out there are selling? How many Cowboys fans you think are going to be in the building a week from Sunday? Anybody give up their tickets right now for the Cowboy game? I'm just wondering here. I'm just wondering. I bet you that thing is going to be lousy with Cowboys fans. Which is not really, it's not an original call or it's not going out on a limb or any of that crap. That's from Shane. Hey, JMV, I call it a success. They have overachieved in the eyes of most. O-line, solidified, defense look good at times. Zero money spent on it. Get an edge rush, a real wide receiver, free agent draft, something like that. And you could have something really good rolling. And while I do understand that, Shane, and you're absolutely right, that is not the wrong answer. That is not the wrong answer. But here's what we tend to do. We tend to put more of a value on, especially during a 5-game win streak, especially when you put yourself in the latter portion of the season in a good position to be playoff relevant. And again, this is not shooting down your thought. You are absolutely right. But there's still a lot of people that are still a little bitter about last week, considering that, hey, this is great. It's a season, but still, you missed the postseason for a fourth consecutive year. That sucks. I tell you, you get caught in this rut, and it's tough to get out. You remember back in the day when, it's another 11 and 12 win season. Another playoff appearance, another AFC South crown, right? I mean, everybody just kind of understood that was going to be it. And then you get in years like this. Man, 4 consecutive years. That seems like a stinking lifetime. So you get a mixture of that too, Shane. And again, I'm not saying that you're wrong because you're absolutely not. It's from Pat Marsh. Can't beat listening to JMV mixed in with static and intermittent mariachi Christmas music. See, you're going to break my heart, Pat, with that. You got to get on the app or something, man. Throw me a bone over here, would ya? Come on. Get on the app. I know all about the mariachi swagger to pop on here in a little bit, too, and start screwing with me. Whatever means necessary, Pats, which I'm trying to tell you here. Whatever you can do, do it. And I'll thank you later for it. I promise you that. Full scope of thanking you later. This is from Colin. Hey, JMV, the Big Ten Network Classic game that you were referencing yesterday was March of 1988, by any chance, was it? I believe that it was. The reason why I remember that is because I was scheduled with a minor surgery the next day. This is me, not Colin talking. I was scheduled for a minor surgery the next day. We had an ice storm in central Indiana, if you remember. We had an ice storm, and it took me like what normally would be a 30-minute or less drive. It took me about 3 hours. It was absurd. It was not March of 88. I think it was March of 89. I think it was the 88-89 IU season, but I think it was the March of 89 is what year that was yesterday that I referenced. Thank you very much. So you're right. A little minor surgery through an ice storm. Man, BK, I'm so sorry to hear what happened. Brian Kelly just sent me this tweet. I hope everything's okay up there. My man Brian Kelly at the shop had to deal with some jackassery, some buffoonery yesterday. And you know how much I love BK and Alex and my friends at the shop. But they had to deal with some jackassery at the Broad Ripple location, and I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I hope everything is okay. But I saw that last night on Facebook, and that bummed me out. They're just the best guys ever making it happen. And you got some jackass coming in there wielding a piece around, acting like he's stinking Dirty Harry or something and needs his ass whipped. Sucks. But here's hoping everything is okay. That's from Trevor. Hey, JMV, think the Colts will do NBA-style trades where they use their cap space to take on bad what? No, listen. They're going to have a lot of money to spend. I don't know if they're going to go out and be completely freewheeling on it. I mean, I think that what we have right now, I think we have a pretty good working knowledge. I don't necessarily believe you have to be like Mr. NFL GM to understand some of the need categories they have on this team. That's a good thing. I mean, some of which we knew going in. But I think the overall picture is certainly a lot more clarified than it was at the start of the year, right? I mean, even if you look at some spots and you still kind of question it, I mean, maybe you still doing the secondary right. Got some cash to go out and do something. Like, I'll give you a great example. Shane said something a little bit earlier about going out and making sure you find an edge rusher. Even if you have the cash, that's easier said than done, because the problem is these edge rushers that are any good never make it to the open market. Like years ago, Melvin Ingram didn't make it to the open market, if you remember, from the Chargers. DeMarcus Lawrence got franchise tagged a year ago. These guys rarely, if ever, make it. So you got to kind of come up with something here or there. But I think we have a pretty good and certainly clarified picture about what's necessary to make this team better. And I will say this. I mean, with this 5-game streak that was ended on Sunday, there's going to be, and there should be too, there's going to be a lot, I don't want to say pressure. That's not right, but pressure will come with it. There are going to be some heavy expectations on this squad next year. I mean, heavy expectations, and rightly so, and embrace it. Because, again, if you're going in, if they missed the postseason, it's the 4th consecutive missed playoff, that sucks. It's a stinking lifetime. I mean, it's not like this is back in the 80s or the 90s when that was commonplace. I mean, hell, you got used to around here, and I'm glad that you did. Doesn't mean that you're spoiled. I would never say that either. I know a lot of people around here do. I never say, hey, you know what? Colts fans are spoiled for what the Manning era brought or from what the first 3 years of Andrew Luck brought. No, you're not spoiled. That just makes up for all the crap you guys had to sift through prior to this. Nobody's spoiled for that.
You don't think Colts fans are spoiled?
If they are, good.
It's not a bad thing.
Well, you weren't even here.
That's the thing, though. Think about this.
No, you weren't here, so you can't really speak to the world of crap that everybody had to live in to be a Colts fan.
And 90% of the Colts fans that have lived it, in the time that they sucked from 84 to 94, they were Browns, Bengals, or Bears fans around here.
Oh, I was Full-scale Bears fan.
I mean, a lot of people
Full scale.
in your age bracket like the Bears and Bengals because that's who was on TV. The Colts weren't here yet.
I always laughed at people like the Bengals. I thought the Bengals were always a bunch of wussies.
And then the kid, people my age, we don't remember the Colts ever being bad. So a couple years here and there.
I shouldn't say that. The Bengals did go to a couple of Super Bowls during that span. Lost, but went to a couple of Super Bowls nonetheless. And, and as Bears fans, and I guess I don't watch them. I was a the hardest core fan of the Bears back in the day. But I do get where some people kind of point at Bears fans and say, I mean, you guys hang your hat all in one year, which is accurate, but it was one damn great year. I mean, 1985, all but one stinking November Monday night in South Florida, that was awful. All but that was pretty good. And make no mistake about that. But that is true. That's kind of how people view Bears fans. I get it, though. I think that's easily understandable. If you guys haven't seen the Colts injury report, it is deep. And listen, it's not like you guys are going to be surprised by any of it because that's basically the way that it's been. It's the way it's been around here forever. But it is lengthy, let me tell you. Yeah, lengthy at a lot of it's kind of funny. You look at the tight end position over that 5-game streak that we all talked about. I mean, that 5-game streak that we all talked about was great. And, you talk about the tight ends working things. And, I mean, now, hell, you can barely get one that's healthy right now. One that's done for the season. So, yeah, that's the one thing you look at this season on. And it's okay to look at it as a success, but it's still a 4th consecutive year without postseason for a group that's, a group of fans that come to expect it. And that's difficult. And I've told you before how quickly this thing goes downhill. I mean, think about it for Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo, 4 consecutive Super Bowls. I mean, you're always back then winning the East, always going to the postseason, always winning in the regular season. And then, 1999, 1998, 1999, that just stopped until last year. Stopped. Just to a screeching halt. And it was over. And it was over until last year. I always have people that want to call Colts fans around here spoiled. Look at that and think how long that's been. Think about how spoiled people might have pointed their finger at that Bills fans and the Bills organization back in the day. And they weren't here forever. Sometimes you just disappear and it's all over. JMV. Once again, the Cardinals will continue to be a thorn in the side of the Reds. Hold on a second. I don't know. The Cardinals aren't a thorn in the side of the Reds. The Reds would just like to be on that sticker bush, I think, right now. The Cardinals are like there. Listen, I don't know what Paul Goldschmidt is going to do, but I do know he's been one of the better power hitters and hitters in MLB. And that seems like that's typical Cardinals. I don't know how it's going to turn out. But you got to go out. You got to get somebody that can swing it pretty good. And clearly Arizona just doesn't. They're having a major league garage sale going on right now. So what are you going to do? Probably will. Honestly, it probably will help, though. I mean, that'd probably be it. JMV. So what went into the crock pot today? Chicken and dumplings. I'm trying to do crock pot stuff right now, and I can't do it. I leave and then come back home like at 8 o'clock. There it is. Yeah, last night I had to throw it out. It was terrible. It looked like poop.
So you getting pizza
Seriously,
tonight there,
did.
John?
It looked like poop.
So we didn't know this. Hold on.
My wife said, wait a minute, who's cooking the poop in the crock pot?
So
that'd be me.
We know that you love the big green egg in the summer.
I do.
We didn't know that you're like a year-round cook. Tell us about this.
I'm not a year-round cook. I do like this because I get home, 8 o'clock or so. I like walking in, and I don't want, my wife works a long day at Perry Township, so I don't say, hey, get up, and I don't want her to. So I put something in there before I come in, And I like walking in and having it done, but I can't. I suck at it. I'm the worst cook ever. So last night I put in noodles and a bunch of crap.
What in the hell? She just sent
in...
it to me. That looks like brain.
No, she sent it to you? She took a picture? I told you, it looked like somebody pooped in my crock pot.
I mean, chicken and dumplings is a very messy meal, but it's pretty delicious.
It looks
you don't mess it up.
That's bad. That's not right now, is it? Or was that last night?
I don't know.
Last night I completely screwed it up. I'll probably screw this one up. But I'm trying, guys. I'm trying out there. Trying to take a little pressure off, right, by having something going. But I'm just royally screwing it up, which is, I think,
par for the course.
Yeah.
Par for the course.
Yeah.
Chrissy's like, yeah, he screws up everything.
JMV, what can I do to get you back to being a full-fledged Bears fan again? It's just not the same. It's not the same. I grew up. I mean, literally, I go all the way back to when I first started liking sports. I loved the Bears. Like Walter Payton was drafted out of Jackson State by Chicago in '75. I remember watching. I watched NFL Today, and then obviously all the Bears games around here would be on. Back then, the local CBS affiliate that I got out of Terre Haute, which was WTHI TV. And so I get to see Walter Payton have nothing around him and rush for about 175 yards, and they'd lose. Every time. I get to watch guys like Bob Avellini be quarterback, Vince Evans be quarterback. I saw a lot of Bob Parsons. He was the punter. But, yeah, I mean, it's just weird. It was back then. I'm just not that big of a fan type of guy right now, I guess. I think we call it being jaded. I think I was kind of done with the Bears. It might have been after the Eric Kramer, and nothing against him, but I think it was after that particular era. I was kind of done. Like when Cade McCown and Moses Marino and these guys, I thought I was pretty much done, I think, by then. It's from Mr. Joel. Bills were good because of Polian, just like the Colts. There's no question about that. And my point is that it's once you get started in losing, and we saw it around here, once you have a losing tradition, it's tough to wiggle out of it. I mean, it is. And before you know it, I mean, boo. You know, you're out 4 years. It's a long damn time for fans around here. And that's why when everybody wanted to kind of point the finger at spoiled fans, I go, no. They're not spoiled fans around here, especially if you're the older fans, because you know just how bad it was back then. And I think everybody was lucky because back then, people around here you just kind of felt lucky that you had a team in general. You just felt lucky you have an NFL team. You didn't have one, and now you do, and that's good enough. And that's good enough lasts for so long. But no, I mean, it's you get lost in this a little bit. 4 years is a long damn time. I mean, think about this. If they were to miss the postseason this year, that's 4 years. So some of your kids have come and gone from junior high, and now they're going into college. That seems like a long time to me. That's from John Buzzard. Hey, JMV, 3 years as a bachelor, and I've learned any crockpot recipe with noodles turns to poop. I'm telling you, that's exactly. Tony saw it over there. I put a bunch of noodles and some beef bouillon. Seriously, you guys are going to love this. And a big brick of cream cheese in the middle of it. Good. And I left it. And I came home last night, and I put a piece of turkey in it too, even though it was beef.
What's wrong with you, man?
My kid said, "There's no way in the world I'm even going to smell that. What are you doing?" But listen, it's all the effort that counts, right? I mean, you give me a little bit of an A for effort, even if the execution was wrong, right? Kind of like the Colts on Sunday. Execution wasn't there, but give me a little bit of something for the effort. Nah, that doesn't help. You're right.
Whatever, Llama.
I do. I have a crock pot cookbook. JMV, you don't put the noodles in until about 20 minutes before you want to eat. My noodles were in for 10 and a half hours yesterday. No wonder.
Wow. Just a bit outside.
10 and a half hours yesterday.
Can't cook. You can't sing.
JMV,
Can't remember your keys.
Before you hit a break, I want you to answer this question. Who do you think has the better longer-term outlook here, the Colts or the Pacers? I would say they both have a very reasonable outlook longer term. I would say both right now. I would say both. Going to be a lot of pressure, and rightly so. Incredible expectations on the Colts coming up next year. I'm not writing off this year by any stretch, but because it was asked of me, I'll answer the question. I think both do. Think about it is, it seems like that they have people that are running the organization that have left themselves some options. You know, when I talk about the option of, having real hair or your real growing hair again with PAI, I know it always comes back to a sponsor, right? But when I talk about life is great when you have options, both of these teams have really good options. They haven't painted themselves into any financial corners, and that's a good thing. But it's, kind of, you got to catch this thing on the right. The problem I would have with the Colts moving into the future, it seemingly doesn't matter anymore. I mean, this team just cannot stay healthy. 3 or 4 weeks? We were celebrating that for maybe a 4-week period. You go from incredibly dinged to, hey, everybody's feeling good, to now incredibly dinged again. And the reason why you're not so surprised by it now is because this has been the case for years. No matter who you're talking about, no matter the medical staff, no matter the strength and conditioning guys, it just kind of seems like this team, I'd love to see the numbers where they rank right now as far as injuries in the NFL is concerned. I don't know if that just comes down to being better trained, just having incredible luck, or what. No pun intended on the quarterback, but in having incredible luck to stay healthy. Because that's part of this equation, is being able to stay healthy. John McClain told us yesterday that the Texans have been as healthy as he has seen them in forever. And it just so happens you start out 0-3 when you get some of these guys back and start 2 at the beginning of the season in September to get their legs beneath them. And 9 consecutive wins later, you're feeling pretty good about the product. And they had a variety of injured guys, Watson, Watt, and it took those guys some games to get underway, and it seems like that they're back and they're as healthy as you have seen them. And even you lose a guy like Will Fuller, right, midseason, wide receiver, you go out and get Demaryius Thomas. I don't think he's been anything great, but at the same time, he's an option, and has kind of lessened the blow, you would think, overall, as far as a wide receiving threat is concerned. Quick break. We'll come back. Charles Arbuckle, college football conversation. Sirius XM is going to join us on the other side. Mike Chappell, Brian Billick, Iron Maiden tickets, Hootie and the Blowfish tickets. Tony's going to call in. Actually, Tony has called in. Not you, Tony, but the Tony that's on hold here. We'll get to him. And we're on YouTube right now as well, as we always are. Where we're going to be tomorrow and your chance at Cowboys tickets on a Bud Light Blue Friday. Back with you next.
35 degrees, 10 degrees, 4 below. 3 reasons why you need a reliable furnace this winter. Hi, I'm Corey Kreitzberger, General Manager at 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. Call 1 Hour today and we'll set you up with a reliable new furnace for about the same price per day as a fancy cup of coffee. Call us now at 855-1-HOUR.
Comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. License 8001-0668.
There are times in life when certain situations are unavoidable. As life passes, we get a little slower and a little more achy than the year before. All part of life. But when we lose the ability for intimacy with the one we love, it can feel much worse. Unfortunately, the lady we love typically feels like this situation is just because of her. As men, we know that's just not true. We want that spark back just as much as she does. The Indianapolis Men's Clinic physicians hear this from struggling couples every day. Fortunately, that struggle in your relationship from erectile dysfunction can be gone. One simple visit to the Indianapolis Men's Clinic with a same-day solution. The joy of your relationship will be back. And the best part of it is seeing that spark back in a happy relationship. Call 999-9000. It's simple, safe, and private. 999-9000. Clinic visit, evaluation, and testing is just $99. IndyMen'sClinic.com for more information. 999-9000.
Come to Shane Company and see our holiday gifts. We have fine jewelry for everyone's style and in everyone's price range. Hi, I'm Tom Shane.
And I'm Alicia, the lead designer. There's nothing like the feeling a woman gets when you hand her a gift from Shane Company. We've been designing all year to create fresh, New collections with unique styles, vibrant colors, and statement pieces. There's something for everyone.
It'll be easy finding her gift because Shane Company has the largest selection from around $100 up to many thousands. One of my favorites is our necklace with a London blue topaz accented with white sapphires for $185. Another great gift, our earrings with blush-colored morganite accented with diamonds for $485.
Morganite is the gemstone everyone is talking about.
We're open all week from 10 till 8. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
How much do you need to save for retirement? Hi, I'm Rick Edelman, founder of Edelman Financial Engines. The question's simple, but the calculation can be complex. How much you need to save for retirement depends on how much income you want, what outside sources you'll have, like Social Security and pensions. And here's the good news. You don't have to guess. We can give you the answer. For more than 32 years, we've shown people just like you how much you need to save for retirement and how to invest it. And now's your chance. Call us for the personal financial advice and investment management services you need with local offices to serve you. At Edelman Financial Engines, we're happy to help you whether you have a little to invest or a lot or anything in between. Come see why thousands of folks just like you rely on Edelman Financial Engines. Call us at 888-PLAN-RIC. That's 888-PLAN-RIC. Or visit us at rickedelman.com. That's ricedelman.com.
Hoosier fans, it's Indiana basketball time. IU Basketball Mini Series tickets are now available in 6-game or 3-game ticket packages, as well as individual games. This is your chance to check out the Hoosiers inside beautiful Simon Scott Assembly Hall. For more information, call or text 812-855-4006 or visit iuhoosiers.com. Go IU.
The multi-platinum, multi-award winner, Daughtry Cage to Rattle Tour. This Saturday night at 8 p.m., Marat Theater at Old National Center. All the hits and songs from the new album, Cage to Rattle, available everywhere now. Research and tickets are on sale now at the venue box office or online at Ticketmaster.com. For Daughtry, part of the Cricket Concert Series.
John from Forum Credit Union. I'm all ready for the holiday season. Are you? If you need a little bit of holiday help, Forum understands that. Contact Trevor Green or somebody. Forum Credit Union on how they can help you pay for all those extra holiday spending needs, too. Ask about personal loan options. Ask about the Common Sense program, which I think is brilliant. Here's the thing. I tell you this all the time. We all want people that go the extra mile for us and keep us in mind. That's what Trevor Green and Forum Credit Union does for you. Always trying to come up with these unique and original ideas to help you save and to help you out. For example, this holiday season. That's why I love them. You will too. Forum Credit Union, branch locations today. Stop in or online, forumcu.com.
Hey, Dad. I wanted to remind you that the holidays are close. Real close. And Mom and I don't need wool socks again. At Hellsberg, you can get jewelry for Mom and get a free Nintendo Switch system for me. 2 gifts in 1 trip. I'm not saying you're a last-minute shopper, but I'm not saying that either.
Get gifts that get gifts at Hellsberg Diamonds, like a free Nintendo Switch system when you spend $1,199 or more. Hellsberg Diamonds, a Berkshire Hathaway company. Limited time offer while supplies last. See online or in-store for details. Game sold separately.
Golic and Wingo.
Houston, I like what they're doing right now. I think the Colts are better. I think the Colts are better, too. Now, what would make you say the Colts are better? The way Andrew Luck is now playing, 8 straight games with 3 touchdown passes. The Colts' defense isn't as good as Houston's defense. When you talk about a run game, I'm taking the Colts group up front every day and twice on Sunday. No disrespect. Here comes the disrespect. Get to the O-line. I'm definitely taking the Colts.
Golic and Wingo. Weekdays 6 to 10 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Now, you're the wrong guy in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Story of my life.
On FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
My man Charles Arbuckle in just a minute. We go full-scale Ghetto Boys. Whenever Charles comes on the show. Oh, this is so good, man. I talk about this every time Charles comes on. Ghetto Boys might be the most underappreciated hip-hop group of all time right there. Charles Arbuckle, Sirius XM, college football, and more is on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I feel like every time I bring you on, we talk about how underappreciated still for the body of work these guys are.
Well, I'll say this. You play it, and I've talked to some friends back in India, and they say, why does he always have the Ghetto Boys on when you're on? I said, you haven't made the link yet?
No.
I grew up in Houston. I know Brad Jordan. He loves Brad Jordan and the Ghetto Boy, Bushwick Bill, and all those guys. So that's why he plays it. And plus, even though I don't listen to Ghetto Boys all the time now, when I come on your show, I know I'm going to hear something.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, they were in the 5th Ward? Is that what that's called down there?
Yep, the double nickel.
Yeah.
Brad grew up, but he moved out our way. I think he was, he started out in 5th Ward, then moved out to Southwest Houston, Willow Ridge High School. But what was interesting, and just listening to him on his podcast talk about it, those guys weren't close friends. It wasn't like like some groups grow up together.
Right.
They were put together by their promoters, and it was just, it was one of those things that they made really good music, but they weren't like super close. So it's always interesting when you find out the backstories about music and the music industry, and it's kind of like sports. I mean, there's been some locker rooms, man.
Yep.
Well, I like playing with a guy, but I'm not hanging with that dude because he, and he ain't hanging with me because we're rolling in different ways.
So did they hang around together a lot, or did they go separate ways when they weren't performing?
I think they went separate ways when they were performing, but they made such good music together, and I think there were other guys that were there before them, and then when they got together, they just really it worked out. It was a time in that area where the Dirty South scene and the Rap-A-Lot Records was popping up, and everybody talked about East Coast and West Coast. The South was a little bit forgotten, but those guys really made a whole name. And if you think about it, Brad or Scarface has been a guest on everybody's album. And when you hear other rappers now that are younger, talk, man, I just would love to have a chance to have you on with us. So, I mean, it's one of those things where good stuff when you hear it. And I think people even now understand. And whenever you hear, that start, dun, 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 I sat alone in my 4-corner room. I mean, you know what that is. That's the Ghetto Boys. Get ready to say my mind's playing tricks on me. So I think, a lot of the stuff now, I think, too, JMV, the reason I don't really listen to a whole lot of rap is because I could do some of the stuff that the guys are doing now. And I'm 50 years old, so.
Yeah, I get what you're saying on that, too.
But I still appreciate the genre because I know when we were growing up, it really meant, you had Public Enemy, you had Eric B. and Rakim, you had different styles, but it was always an expression, and now you hear it. You used to didn't hear it in the suburbs like you do now, but you hear it all over.
So Charles Arbuckle, Sirius XM college football conversation. So success, will Ryan Day continue that level of success or anywhere near it in Columbus moving forward?
It's going to be interesting to see what happens on defense. Their defense has not played well, and I don't know if Alex Grinch and Greg Schiano are mixing together well, because Grinch is a really good defensive coordinator, and Schiano is in the past. But this group of guys they have now consistently with Ohio State don't play at the level that they should. I know you lost Bosa, but on the back end, they were not good at all. And their linebacking crew, and that's the thing, when I think about Ohio State, I always think of great linebackers. Name me one of those guys on that team this year that you would say he matches up with a Spellman or, all the guys that they've had over the course of time.
Right.
He doesn't. So they didn't. So I think they have to recruit those positions better, or get more out of the guys that are playing in those positions for me. And then I think that's going to be important. Ryan Day can call some great offense. He's a really good offensive guy. But what you don't want to have is the same thing you had with Lincoln Riley having to do at Oklahoma. Great offensive mind, but your defense is terrible, and you're having to fix that. And I think that's going to be interesting to see, because think about it. What did Purdue do to him? I mean, Purdue hung it on him. And anytime you get them out in space, Michigan couldn't because they got so far behind and they had to get out of the game plan. But when we saw Ohio State struggle this year, it was teams that had just as much speed and put them out in space and they couldn't play it. I'll say this, in his 3 games, he showed what you had to do with Urban Meyer hanging over the head and not sure if he was going to come back. But I think it's wise that they don't disrupt what they have, but they're going to have to make some adjustments on the defensive side, to me, in order for them to be at the level that they want to be. And you know what's funny, JMV? They only lost 1 game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but in this day and age, if you are Ohio State and you had the success that they had, they're battling their own success with Urban Meyer because he was phenomenal as far as what he did on the field. Now you also have to, if there's any recourse or anything that comes out after he leaves, they have to deal with that. So I think it's going to be interesting to see. I think he'll do a really nice job recruiting. I think if the staff stays somewhat in place and they make some adjustments, especially on the defensive side, I think they'll be fine.
Charles Arbuckle joins us. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So does Urban Meyer coach again, in your opinion?
I think he'll take some time off, let this thing blow over. If there's not a whole lot of stuff that comes out of it, he'll have that option. I think he's at a point now where when you won that many national championships and you've been able to build programs, it'll be his call. I think he'll go in the TV and do that and probably do it well. I just don't know for coaching, because once he comes back, think about the backlash that could come with that. Even though he's won the national championships, he's had great programs on the football field. Everybody will start going to what happened off the field, and I think that's the part to me that he has to weigh in his family. And he says he wants to spend more time with his family, which at a certain point you get to, and that's what you want to do. He had those issues with the cyst. That's clear, but I don't have half the issues that he had off the field of the pressure. And I know if I have a headache, I can only imagine what that would exacerbate with the things that he had. So does he want to go back to that? I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see. Right now, I'd say no, he won't coach again. But if the right opportunity came along, or an opportunity at the next level, because we're starting to see more and more of our college games show up in the NFL, and those guys are sharing things back and forth. So I would say stay tuned, but I don't think he's going to do it.
So Charles Arbuckle with us. I get a dude that continues to pepper me with Brian Kelly's going to end up with the Packers after this Fighting Irish season. Would you buy into that? And I'm assuming that's a rumor that's also floating around out there. I can't see it. Can you?
Well, here's one thing you just asked. If Brian Kelly goes to the Packers, Urban Meyer may look at that Notre Dame job now. Yeah. That might be a little bit different. Like before, he said, "No, I'm not going to look anywhere." I could see. Okay, so I could see that. Here's why: they were about to run BK out of there. He was red-faced. He was this. He couldn't do this. He didn't do that. And Quentin Nelson and Mike McGlinchey changes some things for you, doesn't it? And look at this team this year. I said, don't sleep on Notre Dame before the season, because I knew they were going to be better defensively. But he finally figured out, I got to have a great defensive line and an offensive line. If I get those guys in the trenches, which you guys see in Indianapolis, like I told you, that dude you guys have there is a guard who is a mean SOB and will knock your block off, Quentin Nelson. They're winning without those guys, so they still have some guys there now, and the NFL folks see that. He still runs a pro-South system. Who else is going to try to talk to Aaron Rodgers? You need somebody with an ego. Brian Kelly has a big ego. I could see it. I just don't know if that's going to happen, especially if they make a nice run here and upset Alabama in the first round, and not Alabama, but if they happen to upset Clemson,
right?
I'm putting them at 4, but I forgot they're at 2. They're at 3. If that happens and they get a chance to play Oklahoma or Alabama, who knows? So I'd say I wouldn't sleep on it, because he's put enough guys in the league. He was about to get run out of Notre Dame a few years ago, and he held on and he did the right thing, and they've done a nice job adjusting that and getting to the college football playoffs.
I tell you what's funny, around here with the Notre Dame fans we have, I even with them making the Final Four and the college football playoff, most of the people that contact me regarding the Fighting Irish still would like to see him go, even where he is right now.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? I hear the same thing, and I try to tell people, well, okay, and I get your Notre Dame, and I get you want to be in a position. You may not like his personality, but be careful. Be careful, because remember what Ohio State did with Bo Pelini. I mean, excuse me, not Ohio State, but Nebraska did with Bo Pelini.
Yep.
Remember that. Just remember, just look at those things when you run people off, and think about it. How long it takes for you to get back to the level where you are. Now, Notre Dame should be able to go hire a good coach, but they have to. Every time now coaching staffs change, it's interesting how long it takes, or how that happens sometimes when you're looking at that and what people are looking for in that next coach, and are they happy with that coach? And if they win, are they winning the right way? I mean, the college football playoff, to me, JMV, the one thing I told people right away that upsets me about it is that we now talk about is a good loss better than a bad win? Well, I used to think that if you won, you won, right? I don't know if that's the case anymore. And I think that's what you see, especially now with the way people look at things, and they start talking about certain things and how they look at it.
What do you think that, I guess in this case, what do you think that people that are making the college coaching hiring would be looking for in a coach? Are they looking for the next young, up-and-coming offensive genius in Lincoln Riley, much like the NFL is looking for the next young, up-and-coming genius in Sean McVay? I mean, are they both together in this? Is that what most people are looking for now in a new head coach?
Well, it's interesting. If you're looking at college football, there's two different dynamics. If you're a middle-aged guy in your 40s or 50s, you may struggle. But if you're a young, dynamic coach, they seem to be getting some of those jobs. But I also see it depends on the program, and it depends on what they're looking for. What did Kansas do? They went and hired Les Miles. But, has won a national championship, but his offense and everything else got stale. So Les is smart enough to say, I'm going to get somebody dynamic. Now, just because he hired the coach, I want to see him get out of the coach's way, and that's going to be important. Mac Brown at North Carolina. So it just depends on your program and your program base.
And it depends on where you've been, too, I guess, in this case, right?
Yeah. I think that plays a role as well. But I think what you're starting to see also is that just because you're a great offensive play caller doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a great head coach. And I think that's what, so a guy like Dave Aranda, even though he hadn't gotten a job yet, I think he may be on that next wave of guys if he decides to leave. But why would I leave if I'm making $2 million or close to $2 million? If I'm Brent Venables, maybe the only job I take is Kansas State because that's my alma mater. But sometimes going home doesn't really necessarily mean it's the great place to be, just like we saw with Jeff Brom. So I think it's got to be where they've been, where that program has been, and what kind of the state of it. What's the state of the program and what they're looking for at that time.
Yeah, that makes sense too. What do you think about Jeff Brom staying in West Lafayette?
I actually like it, man. I really did. I think twofold. There's a lot of crap at Louisville right now that he would have to deal with. And he would be going home. But sometimes, man, home, you got a lot of distractions. Just everything around it would be bothering you. So I think it was the right thing for him. And I think Purdue, I've always said this. I've been surprised, and I've been on your show a lot, and everywhere I go, I say, Purdue has had some success, guys. I mean, Drew Brees didn't just come from anywhere. He came from Purdue. He was a great high school player, great in college. They had a good run with Joe during that time with Joe Tiller. I think also Indiana is another school that I always look at because, guys, it's easy to get to Indiana and it's easy to get to Indianapolis and get to those locations. It's not like it used to be. And they've had a little, especially Purdue, has had a little bit more success recently. That's why I think he looks at it from a standpoint, I can get guys like Rondell Moore here, and we can make this thing work. that offense is going to work no matter where you put it. Now, defensively, can they recruit to the level that they need to? And he stays in the Big Ten, and he doesn't have to necessarily fight so much with Clemson. Florida State's going to come back at some point. They should anyway. And Louisville being where they are in the ACC is always going to be tough. So maybe that was a decision for him to say, I got a chance over here. I got a chance to compete in the Big Ten, and I can get some guys that'll come play, and we'll be able to get the guys out of Chicago or the region, and maybe we'll get some kids from Texas, and we'll, when Purdue is good, they get kids from all over. They get those Indiana kids, but they also get kids from out of state that'll come there and make plays for them, whether it's Florida or Texas. And I think he knows how to do that.
Charles Arbuckle, Sirius XM College Football Radio. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. You have a great Christmas, and I'll tell you what, after these first set of semifinals, we'll catch up before the national title game and get your thoughts on what's all transpired in this past month again, if you don't mind.
Oh, that'd be great, man. Looking forward to it. You guys have a good one.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Always enjoy it, Charles. Thank you. I love having Charles Arbuckle on this show. Love it. If you remember, Charles back in the day was here as a tight end with the Colts. He was the color analyst to Mark Patrick's play-by-play back in the 2000s when the Indiana Firebirds Arena Football League was here on Fox Sports Midwest back in the day. Just a all-around fantastic dude right there. Andy Moore, Automotive Group Hotline. You guys get a listen to win. I'm going to give away some Hootie and the Blowfish tickets for their show. 25 years since Cracked Rearview. They're going to be at the Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center coming up in August of 2019. Listen to win, because somebody on the phones will give a chance to win in just a couple of minutes. So listen up for that. Mike Chappell after 5. Brian Billick of the NFL Network at the 5 o'clock hour, too. Back with you next.
Hey, Pete the Planner here with a gift that'll brighten your kids' future. Indiana's College Choice 529 Direct Savings Plan. It's more than the right gift, it's a bright gift because it's a tax advantage way to save. Earnings can grow tax-free when used for qualified expenses at any eligible post-secondary school, including tuition, books, computers, or even room and board. Plus, contributing to a College Choice 529 plan account can earn Indiana residents a 20% state tax credit of up to $1,000 a year. So this gift-giving season, do the bright thing. Open a College Choice 529 plan account or make your contributions today. To learn more and enroll, visit collegechoicedirect.com.
Non-qualified withdrawals may be subject to federal and state taxes and penalties. Benefits are subject to eligibility requirements. Read the disclosure statement carefully before investing.
When the deadline clock is ticking, an unreliable network can cost your business money. That's why you need Comcast Business. Our gig speed network is fast, and we go beyond fast with the complete reliability of 4G LTE backup, which means that even if something like construction accidentally knocks out the power, you can still upload that big presentation, email important clients, invoice customers, and not take a hit to your company's bottom line. For a limited time, switch to Comcast Business and get an amazing deal on fast, reliable internet. Get 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you add 2 voice mobility lines. Just one more way Comcast Business goes beyond other providers. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Offer ends 12/31/18. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra, subject to change. Connection Pro backup limited to up to 6 hours and requires Comcast Business Internet.
Best service, best products. Do it best.
Hi, Brian Baker here at Builders Lumber and Hardware, your locally owned Shelbyville Home Center. Thinking about remodeling or building the home of your dreams? Our building materials sales staff is second to none. Whether it's a huge project or a weekend fixer-upper, when it comes to lumber and building materials, we've got you covered.
Your neighborhood Do It Best is stocked with items to fill his toolbox with great gifts like your choice Stanley Tools, Wonder Bar, 50-pack utility knife blades, utility knife, tape measure, or rip hammer, only $4.97 each, or a Black & Decker 29-piece screwdriver bit set, only $7.97. Projects are endless with a Dremel rotary toolkit, only $69.97.
Shop local. Shop Do It Best. We're located at 1309 Miller Avenue in Shelbyville, or online at blhsupply.com. Builders Lumber and Hardware, building relationships one project at a time.
Best service, best products. Do it best.
Hey, John here for the best gift-giving idea you got, fellas, and it's right now, Diamonds Direct. How about this? You can splurge with confidence. Over-the-top, dazzling jewelry. We're talking earrings, rings, bands, bracelets, pendants, pearls, colored gemstones, fashion jewelry, one-of-a-kind designer pieces, and more. It's incredible. Really is incredible. 3 years, 0 interest, too, is what you're going to get. And she is going to love it. They don't do this often, but they do it this time of year, which is going to get you hero status if you do this thing the right way and get with Diamonds Direct today. Again, 3 years, 0 interest, the smartest place to shop, but never more than right now. Again, 3 years, 0 interest financing, expanded hours, including every Sunday in December. At the best, it's Diamonds Direct. Directions and details at diamondsdirect.com right now.
Hey, this is Jeff Saturday for More Restoration, and you've heard me talk about More Restoration for years. I've used More Restoration 3 times on my home. I care about my family, and More made me feel confident in using them. Speaking of confident, they have a new service. It's a hospital-quality disinfectant that is safe for your home, and it's endorsed by the EPA. Within a few hours, More Restoration can disinfect your entire home. Best of all, nothing needs moved, and it's safe for all your belongings. This service makes it safe to come home. Call More Restoration Disaster Cleanup and tell them Jeff Saturday sent you.
Penn Station East Coast subs, another ride home, right? I mean, don't be like me. I mean, I'm worried about, I'm sitting here hassled, worried about the crock pot. What am I going to do? I should just be smart and cruise by Penn Station East Coast subs on the way home and say, we got this chicken parm, fresh cut fries, and the drink, and everybody is going to love it. It is a spectacular dinner time decision on your way home for a great price, too, because the month of December, it's chicken parm. It is just an absolutely cheesy-looking dream of greatness. Grilled chicken, warm, melty, fresh-cut fries, and a drink for a great price. So, yeah, don't mess around with being like me and Mr. Crockpot Guy. On the way home tonight, for the entire family, make it hassle-free. Penn Station East Coast subs. Put it in your face.
It's the morning after, featuring Jeff Saturday. Everything you need to know about the Colts game the day before. Only on FM 107.5 at 1070 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Bullish Branch hanging and banging with you until the 8 o'clock hour. Coming up, we have artists such as Living Color and the Fine Young Cannibals right now. Here's Roxette, The Look, 89.9 WROL.
FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
John, thank you for joining us. Oh, Tony's over there. I'm John. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Charles Arbuckle, podcast 1070thefan.com. Awesome. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Zool Shots a little bit earlier. Mike Chappell, Brian Billick coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. Tony's at 239-1070 next. Hello, Tony.
Hey, what's happening, Jay? Love your show, man.
Thank you, buddy.
Great interview with Charles Arbuckle. But just wanted to call in, man, as I told your screener, that just talking about the growing pains of a first-year head coach, you know, with Frank. And, you know, you mentioned something earlier about something. It was pertaining to something else about someone painting themselves into a corner.
Right on.
And what I don't want to see Frank do is paint himself into this corner to save face on mistakes that he makes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, and I know you talked about that going forward on fourth. That kind of, I think, catapulted Houston into what they're doing now.
That's exactly what they say, Tony. Yes.
Yeah, and you know, I don't look at a tie as like kissing your sister. I look at it as half a win, and at the end of the year, that half a win is very important. And then, so now I fast forward back to today and this last Sunday when we're looking at. Having valuing the three phases of the game. I used to hear Dungy talk about all the time. He talked about his defense, his offense, and his special teams. And it looks like we're devaluing the special teams because here we have a Hall of Fame kicker, and we didn't use him on Sunday. because we're so offensive minded that going forward on these fourths and ones and leaving points on the board, and also knowing your enemy and their weaknesses and formulating your offense's attack.
Well, and I agree with the second part of that, Tony. I don't agree with the devaluing the special teams, but I agree with knowing the situation and knowing Cody Kessler and knowing that you could have a battle of field goals and still come away with a road win, even though offensively you were still terrible. I do agree with that aspect of it.
Right,
yes.
right, that's right, yeah. right. And we weren't playing Tom Brady. You know what
There's
I'm
no
saying?
question. Yes.
You needed all the points you could get against that stout defense. I think you remember the playoff run we had against Baltimore, and that whole game was all field goals. All field. We won with field goals because we couldn't get past Ray Lewis and those guys.
I completely agree. I tell you what, I'm up against it here, Tony. You call any time, thank you. But I agree with the second half of that. I was go stick with the tie guy, and I was recognize early that the offense, because of the second half of the last game, may not go too far. And then when you get in position, let Adam do some work. I was that guy, and there was no second guessing going on there. Mike Chappell on the other side, Brian Billick in about 30 minutes. Hootie and the Blowfish tickets for you in August in the next 10 minutes. Listen to win.
Well, that was ugly.
Jaguars 6, the Colts nothing.
All right, time to shake it off and start a new winning streak.
And it is caught. Touchdown.
Join us this Sunday as the Colts head to Houston for a showdown with the division-leading Texans. Coverage starts at 10. Matt Taylor and Jim Sorgi have the play-by-play at 1. Only on FM 107.5 at 1070 The Fan. Your exclusive home for the Indianapolis Colts.
Ready to check everyone off your holiday gift list in one fell swoop? Reese Nichols Jewelers makes it easy with their holiday hit list. A one-stop shop for diamonds, jewelry, and watches in absolutely every price range.
That's right, Jenny. We've compiled the season's best gift ideas all in one place. From sparkly diamonds, designer picks, new arrivals, and bestsellers. There's something for everyone on your list.
So many gifts to choose from. Top watch brands starting at just $475, up to collector's editions, designer pieces, beautiful pearls, and dazzling diamond necklaces with prices as low as $400.
And sometimes the best gifts are the ones you get to choose yourself. Reese Nichols gift cards are a great option and are available in any amount and never expire. Let the Reese Nichols experts help you find the perfect gift, wrapped and ready. From our family to yours, may your holidays be merry and bright. Reese Nichols Jewelers, the ultimate gift under the tree.
Hey, Johnny for Big Red Liquors and the 12 days of Christmas wine sale, which is going on, including 25% off wine, 3 bottles and more, mix and match. It is spectacular. Celebrate the holidays in style with your favorite wines at unmatched prices with Big Red Liquors' biggest wine sale ever. 25% off. It's called the 12 days of Christmas wine sale, and it's only at Big Red Liquors locations going until December the 12th. Choose 3 bottles or more of any, and including champagne, dessert wines, and more. Get 25% off. Hey, find more information about this online, bigredliquors.com, or a location today. Tell them JMV sent you.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive Little Blue Pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. Right now, get your first month supply for free. All you pay is just $5 for your medical consultation when you go to 4hims.com/perform. After that, it's just $30 for a month's supply. Sure beats paying big bucks for just one blue pill, doesn't it? Plus, you won't need an awkward in-person doctor's appointment to get the prescription. Hims has doctors online who can prescribe the medication, and a pharmacy sends it right to your door. It's affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To get your first order for just $5, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/perform. That's 4hims.com/perform for your first month for just $5. 4hims.com/perform.
PAI, we grow hair, Indy.com. Real growing hair again, and a conversation with Darren Andrews. Get the ball rolling here. If you want your real growing, and I mean real growing hair again with multi-unit hair grafting or Artist Robotic FUE, talk to Darren Andrews about how they can get it done at PAI. And check out my VIP page on the website as well and see what it has done for me. That's PAI, we grow hair, Indy.com today.
Hi, my name is Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. If you're like most folks, you came out of the summer with some new credit card debt, and here come the holidays, and it's starting to really pile up. Credit card debt generally starts harmless enough, but those interest rates don't stay low for long, and before you know it, you've got $10,000, $20,000, even $30,000 in credit card debt with high interest rate monthly payments. Pay it all off today in 5 minutes with our cash out refinance at thehomeloanexpert.com, and you'll even skip 2 full months of mortgage payments. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BV, W228CX, Indianapolis. The Ride with JMV. Shut up, Kyle. FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. And now years later, she's found out that I'm only hopeless.
What?
I said, quote, hopeless romantic.
Look, I've said this once. I've said it
Hopeless
1,000
romantic.
times.
I swear to you, right to her face.
The fact that you are married
Hopeless
is
romantic.
literally gives all of us hope.
You know, I'm just a hopeless
What was the
romantic.
first drink you bought her? A Rolling Rock?
I don't even know. Oh, I bet. Oh, I used to hang. Oh, yeah. Having the green bottle of Rolling Rock meant you were cool / douchey. I was cool and douchey. This is me.
God, it's
Rolling
just,
Rock.
Whenever you talk about how you met your wife, it makes me cringe.
It was so bad. I think she was actually digging on my friend.
Oh!
Yeah, David Hayes.
Oh, well, everybody was digging on him.
Everybody was digging on David Hayes.
Come on.
It was David Hayes' fault I was down there in the condition in which I was in the first place, David Hayes. See, we always have that friend. Everybody has a friend, right? Where you get in trouble with that friend. Now, he's a friend, great friend, right? But you always get in trouble with that friend. That friend, for not just me, but for, I think, everybody that I went to high school with, was David Hayes.
I don't have one of those friends. Does that mean that I'm that friend?
You might be that friend yourself, yeah. I think if you don't have that friend, you might be that friend. Everywhere we went, oh, hey, I'm in trouble. Hey, look, there's me cuffed and stuffed. Hey, hold on a minute. I'm getting stitches. Why am I in the ER? It's always with David Hayes.
You've never been arrested, have you?
Well, not officially.
We're going to get back to that after Chap.
No, not officially.
I think Chap wants to hear that story. Why don't you go ahead and tell
I've
it?
been hauled off to the Hooskow, yes, but not officially arrested, no. I think they let me out. Not officially.
Wow.
No, I told you that. Didn't I tell you that story? Have I not told you that story? Really quick before I get to Chap. I get hauled off to the Lawrence County Hooskow, right? in a ridiculous incident.
What year was this?
And now I go, this is probably 91, I think, or maybe 92, 91 or 92, and They put my name up on the screen, and my last name, and my last name is just taking up like 2 pages. And I go, wait a minute, this is the first time I've ever been here. What the hell's going on? And he said, well, your dad's in here all the time, and I think we have a cot in the back for him.
We've been expecting you.
Hey, your dad's in here all the time. God. Call us 7. Tony's going to hook you up with Hootie and the Blowfish tickets. Hopeless Romantic. Man, you know what was going on there. Andy Moore, Automotive Group Hotline from CBS Ford Fox 59. Mike Chappell's wondering what in the hell he's just walked into. My apologies for the lead in. It wasn't very good.
Well, it sounds like you or your dad were like Otis in Mayberry, where you just sort of walked in and
my dad, my dad Otis was at least funny, you know. So there's a little bit of a difference there. Yeah, that was my first time at being taken in there, but it was kind of funny knowing the situation. So other than that, but probably not so funny deep down. But anyway.
Probably not.
Here's something else that's not funny. It looks like we're reverting back to the early season standards when it comes to the injury report. Doesn't look good, and it's incredibly lengthy, Mike.
Yeah, that's one. We've sort of learned at the end of Chuck's reign, we've sort of gotten educated on how he did injuries and, you know, his terminology week to week and all this. And now it's really hard to tell. Tomorrow's going to be really interesting. I expect T.Y. to play. I expect Marcus Hunt to play. I expect Eric Ebron to play, although he walked in. We get media access at whatever it was, 11:30, and he was leaving. He had a bag of hydration stuff, you know, Pedialyte and all that, so he's sick. They're trying to keep him hydrated. But Eric Swoop being back on here, and Ryan Kelly's not going to play, I don't think. Until we see tomorrow, I really don't know, but I do think T.Y. plays. This is Houston, and he plays well against Houston, so we'll see. But it's just really hard to tell how these guys go because Frank Reich is one thing he is doing. He's trying to keep these guys as fresh as possible. You know, he gave them, you know, Tuesday off, which they haven't had this year. So I'm interested to see Friday's injury report.
So Mike Chappell, CBS 4 and Fox 59. Andy Moore, Automotive Group Hotline. Do you think that the last 6 quarters we've seen against Jacksonville, and certainly the entire game on Sunday, is that more of a product of Jacksonville for the last 6 quarters, or are the Colts in an offensive funk right now?
Well, the offensive funk, I mean, after that second half against Jacksonville, you know, they sort of got their act together and they played decent for a couple of games. I think it's a lot of it's Jacksonville. In this past game, it was not having.
I guess I would say against the Dolphins, even though they came from behind 10 points down in the 4th and 1, it wasn't like it was tripping the light fantastic offensively either. And it seems like that spanned games.
They smoked Tennessee pretty good, though.
They did.
So yeah, it's. I think what it is, it's. We're seeing that this offense is maybe how well they've played this year with the lack of top-end talent. I think if Luck ends up with 36, 37, or, you know, maybe even 40, he'll have to go now to get 40 touchdowns. And we step back and look at this supporting cast, we're going to shake our heads. We really are. This is still a one quality receiver, then a bunch of guys. And then it's Eric Ebron and some guys, and Marlon Mack's been out of the lineup. So I think this is going to be one of the more impressive stat seasons by a quarterback, considering the lack of really top drawer or even middle drawer talent at receiver. I just think this has been a strange season. I think it's sort of I was talking to Rick Venturi today in the press room, and I thought T.Y.'s 8 for 77 last week was amazing. I thought it was one of T.Y.'s better games. I really do. Everything was contested. Everything was important. But there's so little room for error on offense. And when you don't have a Jack Doyle to where you can spread things around more, and when Eric Swope had one target, losing Mo Ali Cox is a big deal. But you just don't have a lot of places to go with the football, but I think Jacksonville is a bad matchup. They've got good back end players. They don't have the elite pass rushers like Watt and Clowney and Merciless, but they just have some guys that'll knock you on your butt. They really do. So Rick and I were talking about it. I'm not real optimistic about this weekend. I think this is a game that can get away from them if they let Houston get out, because then all of a sudden your pass rush is going to be cranked up, and they're not going to worry about Marlon Mack getting 18 carries for 80 yards. They're not going to care. So, but I think what we've seen a few times this year, is how desperately they need help at the skill positions in the offseason.
All right. So does that mean high-quality wide receivers? Does that mean taking a swing at a guy like Le'Veon Bell? What's that mean in your estimation here at about over a month, when the season's over, and then obviously once we jog into the month of March of 2019?
I've never been on the Le'Veon Bell train. I mean, it sounds sexy and all that. I think and it's a big if so far, if Marlon Mack can stay on the field, I like the group they've got, and it's sort of, I hate to use the word good enough because that means you're settling, but I wouldn't invest. What Todd Gurley got, 4 years, 60-some million, $45 million guaranteed for a running back. I wouldn't do it. I would rather have a top-end receiver. We've talked about this till we're blue in the face on the one move that they should have made in the offseason was bringing in a better receiver, and that's sort of being borne out. But I think they've got to find a quality number two who could challenge for number one. I mean, to be of that status, they're just putting so much pressure on Ty to be the guy when the other guys should be 4s and 5s. I'm not even sure who would be in a ideal world. Who would your 3 be? I mean, you don't have a 2. Dontrell Inman's a 3 maybe. Ryan Grant sort of has been battling injuries, and he sort of slipped. And then you got Chester Rogers and Pascal who give you a little bit, but you just need more. You just need more. If you're going to be offensive driven, if you're going to be luck driven, then you've got to have, a better group around him. And I think they really will do that. And I don't think it's necessarily in the draft. I think it's go out there and get a guy. Now, not the top guy who's going to cost you $13-14 million, but get that quality. Back in the day when and it never would have happened, I don't think it was ever much of a chance. Doug Baldwin of Seattle was going to hit the market, and I thought, boy, this is a guy that would have been great here. Whether in Seattle re-ups him, and he's had a great career. That kind of guy is the one I'm looking at. Is a guy that is maybe not a 1, although Baldwin might be a 1. But get a guy that's a solid 2 or a 1A, and then this offense can really take off. But until then, they're just going to have to sort of find a way to get this thing going again. And I think it'll be a little bit better against Houston because Houston doesn't have the shutdown qualities of Jacksonville. But that was so unsightly on Sunday.
Oh boy.
I would have bet my mortgage, your mortgage, and everybody else's that they would at least scored.
I thought early, Mike, honestly, I thought early that this is going to be one of those types of, you're going to win it with some field goals here. Just because of what happened in the second half in that first meeting against Jacksonville, where, in the first half they were doing whatever they wanted to, they being the Colts. In the second half, they were completely shut down. They made mistakes themselves, but they were shut down. And that's why, and it's easy to second-guess Frank Reich, it is, but that's why when you have points, you can get points, you got to take them, especially if the other quarterback's Cody Kessler.
And I'm still being stubborn. Rick and I, Venturi and I got in an argument, a debate. he just said, they've thrown 2 games away this year, and you can argue they have, for a tie and a win. And again, I'm not going to sit here and defend Frank Wright until hell freezes over, but I just really think his thinking was that with that Jacksonville team, you score 7 in the second quarter, and that's probably enough to win it. It probably is. And I was on board with that. In hindsight, of course, whenever it doesn't work, you do something different. But
yeah.
I just a scenario I could have seen happen is you kick a field goal, then maybe later in the quarter you get another field goal, you're up 6-0, and then you've got a fluke touchdown by this defense that gives up, and then you're down 7-6, and then people are saying, "Well, God, if you'd been more aggressive early on, this wouldn't have happened." So I didn't care for the call. The goal line call, I don't know. I think Howard Ngakwe, he just made a great play. The Ebron sweep was on 4th and 1 was doomed from the start. But I sort of would still, I wrote about it today, I would still do what they did, although part of what I was going about is if they take that tie and they find a way to beat, Jacksonville, they're 7-4-1, and they're the 6th seed, not Baltimore. So, hindsight being what it is, you say, well, you should have done this. Well, that's not the way you do it. So I'm still okay with what they did at the time, but I certainly understand anyone who wants to bitch and moan. And I went back and looked there. On 4th down this year, they're now 6-14. That's 5th worst in the league.
Are they? So they're doing it according to analytics, are they not, over there on
4th
down?
Yeah, and I understand that. And Rick.
Well, I mean, that's what I mean. I wish analytics. Can there not be anything that analytics does not infiltrate when it comes to our sports lifestyles here? Seriously.
And it's 10 times worse in baseball when
it's
when it's 1st and 2nd and 2 and 1 on the batter is left-handed, and that's when it gets crazy. But Rick's in this regard, I think Rick's even more of a dinosaur than I am because he hates these analytics. He says at some point, just get that stuff away and do what you're supposed to do. And I understand. And he's not going to shake me off of my opinion, and I'm not going to certainly shake him off of his. But yeah, at some point you're just overloaded. When they say, when Frank explains that they go through every play of every game, or at least every situational play of every game from the week before, and, well, what would we have done? And if we did, you have to wonder at some point, is there information overload? Maybe, I don't know. But I tell you, if one of those plays works and they win, we're great. Hey, analytics are super and all that. It's, again, whenever it doesn't work, but do something else. You should have done something else. But this is what you live with. And, I think at the end of the season, we're going to be where we thought. I may be ahead of you because I predicted 8-8.
I said 7-9. Yeah.
I still think 8-8 is going to be a good. It will be where they're at, and it will be. If you step back and look at it, that'll be a step forward for this franchise. It just will be. The problem is they put themselves right there on the doorstep of the playoffs had they won, and that's what frustrates fans. But I've said,
and it's going to be 4 years. If they miss it again this year, it's going to be 4 years, and that's a damn long time around here.
Like I told you, the last time was back in the. It started in Baltimore when the last time they missed 4 years in a row. So that tells you how long it's been. But no one, even inside that building, I don't think, would tell you that in August that, hey, this team's relevant in December and there's a chance for a playoff. I just don't think that was on their long range plans for this year. I just don't believe that. So. But I think it's a good thing that the fans are frustrated because that means
they care.
Maybe you're further ahead of the curve than you thought you would be. So,
well, I think it's fair to evaluate. I mean, what we thought going into the season, even from the time of what we thought when they were 1-5 had changed for the better when they were a game over 500 going into Jacksonville on Sunday. And it really, to this point, it's been kind of a bookend. Started out crappy, got really good in the middle, and now it's turned kind of crappy again. If they missed the postseason for a 4th consecutive year, I mean, it's tough. I mean, because, again, I don't call them spoiled around here because I know what fans have dealt with the Colts, especially early on before the Manning, Polian, and Dungy era. So I don't call them spoiled. That's a long damn time. And again, it goes back to Baltimore via your stats, which is amazing. Right. I would have thought at least it would have happened once or twice or all the time around here. So,
as many really bad years as there were in the 90s, you would have thought, there had to be a 4-year stretch in there. No, there really wasn't. They remember the miracle Harbaugh run, and then they made it the next year, and the strike season you got in there. So, but it's your expectation needs to be worst case wild card. You should contend for the AFC South, and I think that's where they're headed. If they can add 3 or 4 pieces in the offseason, they've got a really good base. I think there's some good pieces in place we've talked about. I think Jabal Sherritt is one of the better under the radar players. It's just he needs some big time help around him. So I think they're in the right direction, and it's just the thing that's crazy about the NFL, which makes it what it is it's such a week-to-week roller coaster on, when they were 5-game winning streak, everybody was, on that train, and they were really looking at big things, and then you lose a game, just one game, and then all is lost. Well, it's because when the game was lost, how you lost it. If they find a way to beat Houston, all of a sudden you're pumped up again. So that's sort of the magic of the NFL is.
Yeah, that's true.
The pulse of your community and all that revolves around how the team does. And again, that's a good. I'd much rather be here than where we've been in the past a few times. Like with an Oakland or Buffalo, where not only do you suck this year, what's your hope for next year? I mean, there's a handful of teams you want to say, not only are you bad, there's no reason to think you're going to get better anytime soon. So at least you can build on that. I realize that's not what fans want to hear right now, but I do think they've got good pieces in place. They just have to use Irsay's willingness to spend and the cap space that Ballard's going to have to make those whatever it's going to be 3, 4, 5, maybe not 5, but 3 or 4 smart free agent signings. Because I think they could, those players, if they step up with a receiver, I wouldn't say a tight end because Doyle will be back probably without any issues, but corner, and if you can find a pass rusher, then all of a sudden
good luck, yeah.
I know, I understand that, but those are the areas you need to address, and the thing is he'll have the resources to do that if you can find the right people to do it with.
Mike Chappell, CBS 4, Fox 59s on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Always a pleasure. Hope things are going well in Beech Grove, and we'll catch up with you next Thursday.
Thank you.
So Mike Chappell, CBS 4, Fox 59. It sounded like I said CVS there, and I didn't. CBS. Bottom of the hour, Brian Bellick joins us from the NFL Network. How long is it going to be before somebody takes a shot here and picks up Kareem Hunt?
You think it'll be this year? I don't.
I wonder when and who. When and who. Quick one, we'll come back. Brian Bellick, bottom of the hour. Iron Maiden tickets still coming up, too. And hashtag AskATI for a $40 Colts Pro Shop gift card. Questions to be asked coming up at 6 o'clock when the ATI guys are in studio. Back with you next.
Oh, hello, young man. Come up and sit on Santa's lap.
Hi, Santa. I'm Mark.
Wow, you're a big one. How old are you?
37.
Aren't you a little old for...
Santa, please. I just need some advice. Christmas is coming up, and my wife was born on Christmas Day, and we were married on Christmas Day.
Oh, Mark, you have what we call a trifecta.
Yeah, this gift has to be perfect.
Say no more. You need to get out of here and go to Diamonds Direct. They've got the gifts women love, enough to supply up to 30 ordinary jewelry stores. Bands, bracelets, earrings, rings, and oh, listen, right now they're offering 3 years, 0 interest on any holiday purchase.
Oh, thanks for the help, Santa. So you're sure about this Diamonds Direct?
Oh, Mark, how do you think I keep Mrs. Claus happy?
Diamonds Direct, your destination for that home run holiday gift. With the guaranteed lowest prices, free lifetime service, and 3 years 0 interest now available on any purchase. On approved credit. Open every Sunday in December. Diamonds Direct.
Keystone at the Crossing.
Hey, John here for Universal Windows Direct. Keeping that warm air on the inside, that cold air out. Super Spacer technology helps to do that. And they just look fantastic. And right now is a great time. You can have windows installed by the experts, and you can do it any time of year. If it's cold, warm, whatever outside, they can do it. Just give them a ring right now, too. And remember, every window you buy, you get the next one absolutely free and 0% financing for 36 months. 317-547-2600. 317-547-2600. Hey, by the way, right now, get some windows and get Colts Giants tickets courtesy of Universal Windows Direct. Also, if you want a new gig, right, they're hiring window and door installers right now. Top pay, benefits, unlimited year-round work, and a signing bonus. 317-547-2600. Ask for Stephanie. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Hi, my name is Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. The average American household has over $15,000 in credit card debt. You're not alone. Our job is to find a way to get that paid off for you once and for all. Stop being afraid to go to the mailbox and stop letting those credit card statements pile up on the kitchen counter. Pay it all off today in 5 minutes with our cash out refinance at thehomeloanexpert.com, and you'll even skip 2 full months of mortgage payments. Now that's how you start the year off right. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Hi, this is Matt Taylor, radio voice of the Indianapolis Colts. We are proud to partner with the Indiana Blood Center to help raise awareness of the importance of blood donation and do our part to help boost the blood supply and give back to our community. Every 2 seconds, someone needs blood. That person could be a friend, family member, neighbor, or even you. In order to maintain a safe and healthy blood supply for patients in hospitals across the state, Indiana Blood Center needs to see 550 donors every single day. Unfortunately, when the weather gets cooler, donations usually decrease, even though the need does not. That's why the Colts are once again partnering with the Indiana Blood Center to encourage our fans to raise their sleeves and give the gift of life to those in need. I encourage you to make an appointment to donate blood at your nearest donor center or mobile blood drive. To schedule your appointment, visit versity.org/Indiana Blood. That's VERSITI.org/Indiana Blood. On behalf of the entire Indianapolis Colts organization, I thank you for saving lives in our communities.
On cold, snowy days, you just want to stay in the comfort of your home until your furnace breaks. Hi, I'm Corey Kreitzberger, General Manager at 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. For same-day repairs that will keep you warm and cozy, trust the highly trained technicians at 1 Hour. Call 855-1-HOUR today and get $51 off any repair. That's 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. License 8001-0668.
BullseyeEventGroup.com. Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. All you can eat, all you can drink inside the Bullseye Event Center. Celebrity Chef Aaron May with the preparations for you, too. And next up is the Dallas game coming up the weekend after this. You're going to love it, too. And combo it up for the holiday season. If the football fan or just the overall party enjoyment person in your life wants a great gift, that would be it. Tickets to the Cowboys game, parking, and the VIP tailgate passes with BullseyeEventGroup.com. What a great gift-giving idea. Log on, tell Kyle and Larry and Jim that I sent you. BullseyeEventGroup.com today.
Butler Basketball's next 2 home games at Hinkle Fieldhouse will be December 5th and December 8th, so mark your calendars and get your tickets. Visit the Hinkle Fieldhouse ticket office or butlersports.com/buy tickets to secure seats for Wednesday, December 5th, when Brown from the Ivy League comes to Hinkle. Then on Saturday, December 8th, Northern Illinois visits Hinkle for a late afternoon tip-off. Again, visit butlersports.com/buy tickets or stop by the Hinkle ticket office weekdays from 10 to 4. The Butler Bulldogs, your hometown team, playing on a national stage.
Hey, Dad. I wanted to remind you that the holidays are close. Real close. And Mom and I don't need wool socks again. At Hellsberg, you can get jewelry for Mom and get a free Nintendo Switch system for me. 2 gifts in 1 trip. I'm not saying you're a last-minute shopper, but I'm not saying that either.
Get gifts that get gifts at Hellsberg Diamonds, like a free Nintendo Switch system when you spend $1,199 or more. Hellsberg Diamonds, a Berkshire Hathaway company. Limited time offer while supplies last. See online or in-store for details. Game sold separately.
This is a shout out to the professional tailgaters, game day grillers, and potluck pros. Whether you bake it, smoke it, stack it, or melt it, there's nothing more important than how you cook up your team spirit while serving it with an ice-cold Coca-Cola or Coke Zero Sugar. We may not all agree on the best game day foods, but when you serve your meals with a Coke, you know you've got yourself a winner. Pick up a custom Colts commemorative cup at your nearest Arby's. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling.
The Grady and Big Joe Show.
If you were mad at 4th and 4, or you were on the fence about the other fourth down calls, and you didn't like what you saw Sunday, then you have free terrain to say what the hell you want to say. If you love the 4th and 4 against Houston, if you love the pass to Andrew Luck where he took the big hit on 4th down, if you loved all those plays, but you big mad after the game against Jacksonville, man, that's weak sauce, bro.
The Grady and Big Joe Show. 10 till noon weekdays on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
And the beat goes on, yeah. And the beat goes on.
Weekdays 3 till 7 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Bud Light Blue Friday tomorrow. We got Cowboys Colts tickets for you. Be in the heart of Broad Ripple. OPT's Old Pros table for you. It's always a good one. Tony's going to be out with me tomorrow, too, which will make it even better. Stop by your chance at Cowboys Colts tickets tomorrow beginning at 3. Old Pros table with Bud Light on a Blue Friday in Broad Ripple on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Talking up SeatGeek.com from the NFL Network. NFL Network analyst and former NFL coach Brian Billick joins us. So who do you think is going to end up with that final playoff spot in the AFC when it's said and done?
Yeah, kind of interesting because in both the AFC and the AFC, you kind of see where that fifth spot is kind of taken. You know, in the AFC, obviously San Diego, like everybody sees, I don't know if they can take Kansas City, and they're a pretty darn good football team. And the NFC, it's still a little more open, but I think a team like Seattle is going to be in a pretty good shape. So in the AFC, you're really only talking about one spot, and you got a lot of interesting teams. Baltimore, obviously, they got a tough one against Kansas City. I think Indianapolis, notwithstanding what happened last week, which was a kind of surprise for everybody, I think a lot of people, including myself, would have looked at Indianapolis and said, hey, I think this is a team now that could, solidify that sixth spot. And to kind of have the game they did against Jacksonville was a bit of an eye-opener. And then, I'll tell you a team to watch out for, Denver with their schedule. Yeah. I know they're sitting there at 6-6, but this is an interesting team playing well. They got San Francisco, Cleveland, Oakland, and a Charger team who at the end of the year may not be playing for anything. So there's a few teams that this is going to get interesting. So
Brian Billick with us. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. What's been your impression and your number one for Frank Reich here in Indy?
Well, like a lot of first-time head coaches, there's a lot to deal with. I'll tell you from experience, you get that job, you work your whole life to get that opportunity, then you get the job and you go, holy mackerel, I don't know what I don't know. I mean, there's a lot going on, particularly when you're going to be the primary offensive play caller with it. But obviously, he's doing a good job with it. The players are responding to him. And particularly, with Andrew Luck coming back and the play of the offensive line, you don't want him throwing it 52 times like he did against Jacksonville. But I think the players are responding to him, and I think he's got a good sense of what's going on.
We talked before the start of the season, maybe as we were a little bit into it. I can't remember. But at one point, obviously, the Colts were 1-5, worked their way over 500, and then lost in what was disappointing fashion, as you alluded to, in Jacksonville this past weekend. All in all, I think to a lot of Colts fans in a rebuilding year, it's been a nice year. Is Andrew Luck giving you the overall play that you thought you were going to see, given the fact, Brian, that he missed the entire season a year ago?
Oh, I think with the expectations and the concern with that, and the big key is that they're protecting him better. That's the biggest difference. And yeah, I think you've seen everything you need to see out of Andrew Luck to know that he is going to be fine, particularly if you begin to wrap those things around him by way of the offensive line and weapons down the field. I'd be thrilled with seeing where Andrew Luck is right now.
Now, did you think he was going to be at this level in your number one back, or did you have some question about that? Because really.
You always worry. You always worry about that first year back. And then based on that, you got to anticipate next year's going to be, because here's the subtle difference. When you're coming off the couple of years that Andrew Luck has had, you're still spending an entire offseason rehabbing. So God willing, nothing happening between now and the end of the season, Andrew Luck's going to go into this offseason without having to rehab. That's a world of difference in terms of your focus, your energy, what you can do. As a coaching staff, knowing where you can start, that's a huge, huge difference. So to me, what we've seen this year is nothing but a plus.
It's Brian Billick. He's with us from the NFL Network. SeatGeek.com is where you go. Use the promo code Billick, $20 off your first purchase. We'll talk about that in just a second. I kind of want to wrap it up with you regarding the Colts for a minute, too. I personally think, and I think a lot of people agree with me around here, that Frank Reich has been just perfect for Andrew Luck. I mean, perfect. And there have been some fourth down calls that people want to question. But when you look at the overall body of work, as you mentioned, the offensive line, coming together during that 5-game win streak, or the offense where he's not taking any hits because of the offensive line or the schemes and the philosophies alone, I think Coach has been fantastic for quarterback back after a year away from the game because of injury.
Yeah, and for not the least of which is Andrew knows he's got a guy that has been there, that understands. That's a big thing. Obviously now you got to deliver on it, but it's going to open the door for you in terms of Frank Reich can sit and look at Andrew Luck in the eye and say, look, I kind of know where you're coming from here. I know what you're seeing. I know what you're experiencing. And that's got to give him a great deal of confidence. And so now it's just a matter of going forward and wrapping those things around him that you need to be more successful as a total team.
How do you view Kansas City now? As far as, obviously because of the situation, losing Hunt, moving forward, how are they going to look as a playoff team compared to what you thought before all that went down last week?
Well, they're still a great team. Now, you can't lose a player the caliber of Kareem Hunt. No team can, where you just go, okay, no, we're fine. We'll just keep going. That balance that they have between what he does in the running game and then to be able to get the ball down to Tyreek Hill and go to Travis Kelce, that's huge. And not that they're not going to be able to do that to a degree. We're going to find out. They're going to be testing this Raven group this weekend. But certainly it's hard. You look at anybody. Look at the Rams and say, okay, take Gurley out of the mix. Oh, boy, that's going to fix you. Look at New Orleans and take Kamara out of the mix, and all of a sudden, and I know they got Ingram, but it's like, oh boy, that's a pretty good hit. So yeah, I mean, good talent matters, and so is it going to affect them? Yes. Will it derail them? I don't know that it's going to derail them, but it's going to make it more of an uphill battle.
Brian Billick from the NFL Network is here from SeatGeek.com. $20 off. So if I can just type your name in, your last name Billick, in the promo code, I get $20 off my first purchase.
Sure. When was the last time someone got you $20, man? I got to be your.
How about never?
Now.
How about never?
Yes. Yeah, and the great thing about it, and whether it's obviously athletic events, you're coming in the holidays, so if you want to go to the theater, you want to go to some kind of concert, whatever, you go to SeatGeek.com. They've got a phenomenal rating system. Tells you what kind of deal you're getting. I don't mind overpaying for tickets,
right,
as long as I know I'm overpaying for tickets, right?
Sure.
And best thing about SeatGeek.com, every transaction is guaranteed. So whatever your ticket needs are, you're a better consumer when you go to SeatGeek.com.
Are you a concert guy, Brian?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be going to the same concert you're going. I like a little Michael Bublé. That's I can go. I can get that done.
You're a Michael Bublé guy and a James Taylor guy. Well done,
James Taylor. Yeah. My wife and I. I've actually used SeatGeek. We were in New York, literally walking to the theater. We wanted to see that Carole King. What was it? Beautiful.
Yeah.
Literally got on SeatGeek.com, secured the tickets, walked up to the press box, and we're in. It was great.
That's awesome. Brian Billick, NFL Network, SeatGeek.com, $20 off your first purchase. Just type in the promo code Billick, and you save $20, and he's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Little background right there that I did not know. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that, and we'll do it again soon.
All right, guys.
Brian Billick of the NFL Network. James Taylor, huh? Brian Billick likes Michael Bublé. Yeah, I'm not the biggest Bublé guy. That's like a Hagen thing right there. Hagen's Bublé. Hey, did you take that picture down that had a Hagen eating last night?
Yeah, I did.
Because, he probably wouldn't talk to me for a month if he saw that.
Well, hell, I'll put it back up then. He doesn't come around much anymore anyway.
What was that? It was a picture of him taking a bite of, like, chicken nugget or chicken strip or something, wasn't it?
Where's he been, man? What's going on?
He called in yesterday.
Yeah, but
I don't know. On a Friday, he just hasn't been showing up.
Hell, you were out all of last week. Why the hell didn't he show up?
Not one time did he show up. Now, one time, my favorite Hagen move, though, is this. Hagen, there is nobody around. You know, I said a little bit earlier, you're always, you hang around a friend. There's always that one friend. And if it's you don't have that one friend that's probably you that always gets you in trouble, right? Hagen, there is no better stealth move performance or performing than Chris Hagen. Because that dude will be standing there just yakking it up with you, having beers, having a good time, and you turn and look the different, and you turn back and that dude is gone. Stealth's out. And then about 30 minutes later, you get a text saying, hey, man, yeah, I had to go because I had to let the cat out or something.
He has a cat?
No, I'm just making it up. But, nobody. You turn for a second and turn back, and that dude's gone. It is an unmatched stealth maneuver of which I have never seen. I'm telling you.
Whoa! Hey, jump. How high?
Did he say that I have actually used? He did. I've actually used. He said he used it in New York to go see Carole King. Is that Tapestry? Was that the big album 8-track tape back in the day? Tapestry? That is on it. Listen, I know what he's talking about. Hell, you guys know Carole King and James Taylor and Michael Bublé. You shop at Kroger. Every time you go into a Kroger, you're going to hear one of the three. That's what he said. Quick break. We'll come back. Iron Maiden tickets we'll give up. One show that has been pushed back, I was actually going. Pushed back locally until April. We'll tell you what that is. Get you set for tomorrow in Broad Ripple on a Bud Light Blue Friday. And the ATI guys, top of the hour, right here, answering your questions. If we read it on the air, $40 gift card courtesy of the Colts Pro Shop could be yours if Tony picks you. ATI guys in studio, top of the hour. And your call's at 239-1070 if you want to do that next.
Lights the Brickyard are back. Drive the family through more than 3 million bright lights in the 2-mile course at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway this holiday season. Get your lane pass now, IndianapolisMotorSpeedway.com.
I'm ready to work, but I'm not sure the college is for me. I keep hearing there are plenty of good jobs out there, but I don't have the right skills to get one. I can see where I want to be. I just can't figure out how to get there.
You can get there. With Indiana's Next Level Jobs program, you can get the free job training you need to take your life to the next level. Learn more at nextleveljobs.org.
The multi-platinum, multi-award winner, Daughtry Cage to Rattle Tour. This Saturday night at 8 p.m., Marah Theater at Old National Center. All the hits and songs from the new album, Cage to Rattle, available everywhere now. Research and tickets are on sale now at the venue box office or online at Ticketmaster.com. For Daughtry, part of the Cricket Concert Series.
When my hair gets too long, I don't feel like me. But after a haircut at Great Clips, I get my
edge back. I order reprints of my driver's license photo. My dentist thinks I floss daily. I time revolving doors perfectly. And I can pronounce Worcestershire sauce. Oh, yes. Worcestershire.
Get in, out, and back to greatness. Download the Great Clips online check-in app. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
It's exciting when a company grows to give its community and others around it a product that they can be proud of. It's even more exciting when that company expands to our community. Yoder Oil is now delivering unleaded and premium diesel fuels to Indianapolis. Now for Indianapolis industries that rely on lubricant products like Citgo, Mystic, and Clarion lubricants and fuel, it's good to know they can now order from a company that's been growing for over 80 years. Yoder Oil. The letters WIBC get you 10% off your first order. YoderOil.com. Chad and Tyler Peterman.
It's that time of year when drains get clogged, but no worry. Peterman Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing will get it moving again.
Got a clogged drain in your home? Peterman will unclog that drain for just $83.
That's $83 to unclog any drain.
You don't pay a cent until the drain is clear.
And we'll keep that drain clear with a 1-year guarantee.
Call 859-4270. Call Peterman for heating, cooling, and plumbing. Peterman's the way to go.
This year I need to get her a gift that says, I know I watch a lot of football and thanks for being okay with that.
I'm looking for the present that makes the statement, I know I've been working a lot lately and I really appreciate your help with the kids.
I'm looking for the, I know I don't say it enough, but I feel like the luckiest guy in the world to have you in my life present.
I'm BJ Nichols. When it comes to gift giving, it's the thought that counts. And no matter what the thought is behind your gift, you'll find the perfect one at Reese Nichols Jewelers. Go to reesenichols.com to see our holiday hit list, the season's top picks.
I need to find the aren't you impressed considering I never have time to shop gift.
Then you'll love this. At reesenichols.com, you can buy online, ship for free, or swing by our store to pick it up, wrapped and ready to go. We make your holiday shopping easy at Reese Nichols Jewelers. Keystone at the Crossing in Greenwood or online at reesenichols.com.
Even the please forgive me, I know I screwed up thought?
Oh yeah, we have a lot of those too.
Hey, PAI, We Grow Hair, Indy.com. How you doing? It's JMV here for Darren Andrews and the professionals at PAI that just give you options. We love life, don't we? We love a life full of options, and that's what you get with PAI. Options that if you're going bald, you can go ahead and get some real growing hair again. Nothing fake about it, seriously. I mean, if anybody ever tries to tell you that it's fake, man, just look at my dome right here. There's nothing fake about that. It's real growing hair again. They bring it back to life. They resuscitate your dome lockage right there. And it's a beautiful thing with PAI, multi-layered hair grafting, artist robotic FUE. It does work with PAI. We grow hair. Indy.com today.
It's a new season, and the Colts are chomping at the bit with a new coach and a new attitude. Oh, and our luck is back, baby.
Hey, it's JMV. Join me at Old Pros Table in Broad Ripple on Friday with your chance at Cowboys-Colts tickets, courtesy of Bud Light.
Here's to the beer you can always count on. Bud Light, brewed with 4 essential ingredients to be America's favorite light lager.
I'll see you Friday at Old Pros Table in Broad Ripple.
Bud Light. Friends show up on game day. Please drink responsibly.
The Ride with JMV. The Ride with JMV.
I care about you, Dalton.
On FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
All right, so Justin Timberlake is supposed to play next week at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. He's got bruised vocal cords, and he has pushed that back now. What does it go back? Yeah, here it is. April the 2nd. April the 2nd. It was a week from tomorrow, the 14th, now pushed back to April the 2nd. I got tickets for that, Justin Timberlake. Actually, I saw him the last time he was in Indy, Tony. He was really good. Blake wanted to go, so I took him. He was really good. No Timberlake until the 2nd of April right there. Tony's over there. I'm John. Tomorrow in Broad Ripple, going to be a blast. Bud Light Blue Friday at Old Pros Table. Man, you know tomorrow they're going to have the fireplace fired up and everything for us. That is going to be spectacular. It is. Bobby Jefferson writes this. Hunt will land in Oakland with Gruden come March. Book it. I'm writing that bad boy down. Writing it down right now. Joseph Fenton Faust writes this. Which do you think was the bigger loss in last week's game, Doyle or Kelly? I think it's Doyle. And I know that Bame had a bad penalty, had a hold. I mean, one of the bigger gains of the day through the air was that pass. I think it was Zach Pascal that caught it, right? And it had to be called back because Bame was holding. But I still say it was Doyle. This team has been so reliant on the tight end position. And, all of a sudden, you don't get that. And remember what the tight ends, and especially Ebron, did in the first half against the Jaguars, back in early November. Now, again, in the second half, that all changed. It's been 6 quarters of shutout pitching defense for the Jacksonville Jaguars over the Colts. But the Colts have been so reliant on the tight end position, and certainly that of Jack Doyle. I mean, you look at Jack Doyle being done for the season. You look at Mo Alley Cox being unavailable, and this has been an issue. I mean, they already lack, as we know, substantial playmakers, but that certainly makes this even more of an issue than it normally would. JMV at 1070thefan.com is the email address. Hey, JMV, I'm nearly 40 and don't remember seeing a Colts game until I went to see them in person back in 92. Due to games always being blacked out where I grew up in Waveland, Indiana.
Good old shout out to Waveland.
That's Montgomery, right? Montgomery County. Shout out Waveland, Indiana.
Shout out
everybody.
to my grandfather. That's where he lives.
You guys went to Cracker Barrel yesterday.
We sure did.
You were still eating on that last night, too. Well done. What did you get at Cracker Barrel?
Right up your alley. Chicken and dumplings with mac and cheese.
That's
apples.
what I got in the crock pot right now, but it's destroyed.
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna eat that.
I tried to do stroganoff last night, and it was a disaster. Never sold out games, so yes, I can say the last 2 decades of more success than failure. Greatly appreciated. Younger Colts fans have been spoiled and have enjoyed more good than bad. Yeah, the younger Colts fans, I guess you could kind of point the finger of being spoiled, but the old farts being around here forever, I think we all know that that's inaccurate. I mean, you had to go through a bunch of garbage. You did. I mean, hell, seasons like this were cherished and embraced back then. Hope all is great, and I do enjoy crock pot season. My man, Brian Bailey, who works at the PNC here in town. I used to see him at 135 in County Line, but he's not there anymore. My man, Brian Bailey. He is a good dude, though. ATI guys coming up at the top of the hour. That should be an absolute blast per usual. Somebody's going to win $40 Colts gift card. We got a lot of questions to be answered. So we'll do that with the guys coming up at the top of the hour. Tony, you're out tomorrow. You're going to join me, correct?
Yeah, I'll be with you, my man. We'll have a good time. I'll show you the ropes.
And we got a normal Friday working tomorrow. We got Mike Wells.
Yeah, Wells, Lovell, Fisher, and then we've got, remember we're off tomorrow at 5:30.
5:30? What in the hell?
5:30 to 6:30 is Colts happy hour, and then 6:30 is your Pacers pre as they take on the Orlando Magic and Sasha Vucevic, or not Sasha Vucevic, Nikolai Vucevic.
You think Nikolai Vucevic is going to eat Miles Turner up tomorrow night?
Yeah, he might have a 20-rebound game. And honestly, that's not really a knock on Miles. I mean, that dude's been tearing it up.
He has been tearing it up.
Him and Julius Randle are guys that kind of fly under the radar, but...
Yeah, and there's a reason why I haven't brought up Paul George today, because I don't care. I know he had 47 and knocked down his first game winner ever last night. Pete Sprague says, say Stroganoff faster and the FCC might come calling. Stroganoff. I can't say Stroganoff.
Why don't you play Turning Japanese coming back on your next read?
What's worse, Stroganoff or
Moist?
Or jacket off weather? I'm glad that some get that and understand it. Others don't. Oh, man, I just didn't see that, right? Anybody grow up at all listening, maybe still listen to the band called the Buzzcocks? Peter Shelley. The reason why I know this is because I a lot listen to Sirius XM Channel 33, and it's New Wave, and the Buzzcocks have some tunage on there. Peter Shelley does too. Peter Shelley has died of a suspected heart attack at the age of 63. Yeah. Man, the Buzzcocks, a big deal back in the day. I mean, still are when you look at punk new wave kind of crossing over. I have to look. I think Peter Shelley also had some solo work done. Dead at the age of 63. Talk about me. We're going to talk about my knees, my injuries, my aches, my pains, and maybe sneak in a little bit of you as well. All right, Tony, turn me over here too really quick. Turn me up. All right.
about you makes me grin.
Monday mornings have never been better on The Fan.
I love it. I love it.
Each Monday after the Colts game, join Colts legend Jeff Saturday as he takes you inside the Colts huddle.
Making a full all-in on the offensive line.
It's Saturday on Monday mornings from 7 to 10. Every Monday after a Colts game.
You're watching Andrew get better at it every week.
It's Jeff Saturday with Kevin Bowen and Jeff Rickard.
It's just fun to watch.
Only on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Grateful Dead members Mickey Hart, Bill Kreutzmann, and Bob Weir, along with John Mayer, take to the stage again as Dead & Company. Summer Tour 2019. See them live in concert at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center on June 12th. Pre-sale for City Card members available now through Friday at 10 p.m. before the general public on Saturday at 10 a.m. Get tickets at livenation.com. For more, check out deadandcompany.com.
Penn Station, East Coast Subs on the way home. Hey, thank me later for it, too. A hassle-free dinner that you're going to love. Hey, get everybody a round of chicken parm, fresh-cut fries, and a drink for a low price. I mean, hey, the round's on me. Chicken parm for everybody. And it will be great. Grilled chicken, marinara, melty cheese, grilled fresh, your order, fresh-cut fries, and a drink. Hello there, and thank you very much, John, for the advice that you have given us with Penn Station East Coast Subs on the way home. Now, if it's not the December special, then it can be something else, whether we're talking about another grilled fresh your order sandwich, a cold sandwich, a salad. It is all going to work, and your family will love it. Make it easy tonight on the way home. Dinner time, it's done. It's Penn Station East Coast Subs. Put it in your face.
At Shane Company, my family and our team make it easy to find the perfect holiday gifts. Hi, I'm Rorden Shane.
And I'm Derek. One of our customers' favorite gifts to give and to receive is 2 pieces of jewelry that match, like a beautiful necklace and matching earrings.
This year, our Shane Company design team created matching sets inspired by our most popular styles. You'll find gifts with natural diamonds, rubies, sapphires, gemstones, and cultured pearls. Exclusive matching sets in every price range.
We've got a new modern necklace with freshwater pearls on a sterling silver chain that is only $150. The matching pearl earrings are $115. We also have a marquee-shaped pendant lined with amethyst for $115, and matching earrings for $135.
Surprise her. Put one gift under the tree and one gift in her Christmas stocking.
We're open all week from 10 till 8. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
Andy Moore, Toyota in Avon, 5 miles west of 465. It's on US 36 with a selection that is absolutely unmatched, like 4 acres, car, trucks, or vans. This time of year, great deals for the holiday season. Put a bow on a great ride, a Corolla, a Camry. If you're looking for a van for the entire family, the Sienna, and you know I talk about my truck, it's like 9 years old now, the Tundra. It is still spectacular. I got like 200 plus K on the bad boy. It is going to run forever, and I love it. And you will love the buying experience with Jeremy Wilson, with the 2 Chris's, my man Moose and Diana at Indiana's Best, especially this time of year. Sometimes you don't think about a new car, truck, or van during the holiday season, but it's a heck of an idea. At Indiana's Best, it's Andy Moore Toyota in Avon. Just tell them I sent you, 5 miles west of 465 on US 36.
At Huntington, we're always looking out for you. So when business owners told us it can be tough to stay on top of their finances, we invented the real-time robot.
Hello, Dale. You currently have $11,317 in your business account.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, real-time robot.
Update. You have $11,316 in your account. Employee Brenda bought a pen.
Okay, thanks. You don't have to update me on everything.
Update. Employee Brenda bought a stapler.
Yeah, see, that's something I really don't need to...
Update. And staples.
No.
So we simplified. Presenting the Huntington Hub, our online and mobile banking platform that analyzes your spending and forecasts your cash flow, so you know where your business stands today and how to plan for tomorrow. It's just one more way we're looking out for you. Huntington, welcome. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's 1 hour heating and air conditioning, 855 1 hour. You got to check that heating unit of yours. So your furnace gets about 16 years, and then it starts, well, not to produce as it should. I mean, keeping your house warm, making sure your energy costs are down. That's where 1 hour heating and air conditioning comes in here, too. They'll go in, check out what you have. If it's not working, they're going to give you a great deal. And here is the great deal that they have for you right now. If you need it, how about a brand new HVAC system? Just $88 a month. $88 a month. 1 hour heating and air conditioning. That's 855 1 hour. Tell them I sent you today. That's 855 1 hour.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BV, W228CX, Indianapolis. The Ride with JMV.
Chicks dig me because I rarely wear underwear, and when I do, it's usually something unusual.
On FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Uh-oh, we always do a lot of talking about me on this. Gonna talk about my knee, gonna talk about my shoulder, gonna talk my elbow, my forearm, my foot, my heel. Hey, hashtag Ask ATI. The ATI guys are in studio today. Brad Howell is over there from ATI Physical Therapy. And my man, Dr. Cos Kays. He may have the best name ever. I'm going to call him like Cosmo Kramer before this thing's over. Ortho, Indy, Carmel, and in Greenwood. Is this your first time? Here? Dr. Kays in
Yes,
here?
sir. Yeah.
Oh, man. And then here's what happens, man. So Dr. Kays sits down, and we find out that Dr. Kays is from Gary, the region. And Tony, also a region rat, is from Portage. So these guys are all saying, hey, yeah, my grandma lives over here, yeah. You guys want to share some more region stories for us? What you got, Tony? Share some region stories.
I mean,
come on.
Lake Station.
Lake Station.
I guess it was nice. Probably when you were there. It wasn't when I was. No offense to your hometown.
Is it not nice
it's
now?
Still a flea market over there every once in a while. I don't know. You've probably been to Minor Dunn in Munster. That's
So where'd
always a
you
good
go to
place.
high school?
Lake Station, Edison.
Lake Station. Were you guys any good at sports?
We won our conference one year, basketball. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
But it's a small conference, and remember, this is a long time ago, right?
Like how long ago?
So I was there.
If you're younger than me, I'm really going to be pissed about this,
I was
too.
there. I graduated in 82 from Lake Station.
Oh, 82. So you're older than me then.
Obviously,
82.
Right?
They have a moose lodge.
Well, hell, that's good.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
good,
saying,
right?
rarely
Yeah.
do I ever have anybody on the air with me that's older than me.
older than you.
Well, that's pretty impressive.
See, there you go.
Were you 83?
83? Son of a guns. How about a little 88 right there? Yeah. Oh, well, look what I'm getting. I honestly, Pat Kersey's sending me texts right now.
Pat Kersey,
Oh,
yeah.
The great Pat Kersey. Yeah.
That's funny.
Said two of my favorite guys on the radio right now.
That's funny. I got to say.
That is awesome. So you're the class of 82. I'm a class of 88. So this is like rarely do we ever get like Brad's like 25 years younger than all of us.
We got the same haircut, though. So
that's right. Absurd. How can people get a hold of you, Dr. Kays, if they want to?
They can email me at kks@orthoindy.com. That's probably the easiest way.
Awesome.
And then through our office phones.
All right, where do we want to start, Brad? You got any really good spot to start as far as Week 14 of the NFL is concerned? The Colts have a laundry list, a scroll of injuries once again, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's unfortunate coming off that Jaguars loss. Ryan Kelly still, struggling with the sprained MCL. Ebron is having a back injury, but he didn't practice Wednesday, but seems to always play. I think the big one everyone's keeping an eye on is just T.Y. Hilton and the shoulder injury there.
All right, well, help us out here, kind of from what you guys both gather. What's the situation? What's the effect here with the shoulder? I happen to think he's going to give it a go because it's Houston. He always plays well against Houston. But what's he dealing with from what you guys have read, Dr. Case, Brad, whomever? Jump in.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what is going on with the shoulder. I'm not sure if it's an AC injury or what's been actually released. If it's something that's a lower grade sprain, like a low grade 1 AC sprain, then you would hope, they could shoot him maybe with an anesthetic and then he'd be, range of motion's good and get back in the game. But if it's something more serious with the rotator cuff, it may be a little bit more delayed.
Yeah. It's not good because he's missed time and that's troublesome. But at the same time, I just, for some reason, I expect him to give it a go, I guess.
He's tough, yeah.
What about Eric Ebron's situation here? I know part of this is an illness. Is it more just being kind of sick this time of year than it is actually having an injury, guys?
I mean, I don't know. They're reporting some back injury as well, but, he's tall guys are going to have back issues, especially in football, going from a stance to, extending. So, he seems pretty tough. He's been banged up all year. I think we've joked about him having lower extremity injuries, like hockey injuries, throughout the entire season. So I think he should be fine, but it is getting late in the season, and guys like him tend to get beat up a little bit.
That is Brad Howell, ATI Physical Therapy. Hashtag AskATI. If I read one of your questions on the air and Tony picks you, you get a $40 gift card from the Colts Pro Shop. It's Dr. Kaz Kays of Ortho Indy, Indianapolis, Carmel, and Greenwood in studio with Brad Howell of ATI. Dr. Kays, Ryan Kelly's got a sprained MCL, not going to be ready coming up this weekend. However, is this, since he injured that injury did take place, is he kind of on track? Is this like normal time lost by virtue of a sprained MCL?
Seems to be, yeah. You'll lose a few weeks with an injury like that, so he should be back soon, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they're still. I mean, it's tough. You're an offensive lineman. You're bearing a lot of weight already. Then you got to go up and push some people around. And is that a situation though? If you go out there too soon and you get injured, do you turn back the clock on that too? Because we've talked about that a lot this year.
Yep. If you get re-injured, you start over. Sometimes worse, and you got to be able to protect yourself, and you got to be healed enough for that.
Brad, how often do we see guys come back from this way too early, or at least try?
Quite a bit, and that's the challenging part, is that there's different grades of those sprains as well. So if it's a higher grade, it's more of a complete tear, which Dr. Kays is the orthopedic surgeon, knows a lot more about those type of things. But the MCL typically is treated conservatively. But they usually come back within a 4 to 6 week range. It just depends on that grade.
Hashtag AskATI for the questions right now. Around the rest of the NFL for Week 14, what do you guys make? You guys can both speak on this from what you've heard. James Conner, running back, Pittsburgh Steelers. I know a lot of folks out there, we're starting the fantasy football playoffs right now, and a lot of people have been leaning heavily on James Conner this year. Questionable for Week 14 with a lower leg injury. What should we be thinking right now, Dr. Kays? What do you think?
Well, I think it depends exactly what that injury is. It could be something that he could be back pretty quickly, or something he could be out for several games. So far, they'd be kind of vague, right?
They have.
Yeah, in your practice, I think they're saying something about a lower leg contusion. Like with bruising, is that something that you typically hold out on, or is just kind of just wait and see type of game?
Yeah, it's kind of probably week to week, but depends if it's a muscle contusion or it could be a bone contusion too, which is a different ball game.
There's actually, you look at Connor's situation is a question mark right here. A.J. Green with the foot injury. We talked about this last week, done for the season. Greg Olsen, done for the season. Melvin Gordon I think he's been ruled out. I think we've seen that recently. I think he's ruled out for the game. Obviously, he's another big-time producer when it comes to fantasy football, folks. So it's tough sledding right now for a lot of people, isn't it, Brad?
Yeah, it is a rough part of the year. I think the A.J. Green, he had a turf toe, and then, all of a sudden comes back, and now this is season-ending injury. And Olsen's one of those guys that has had feet problems his entire career. And to see him rupture his plantar fascia, which was similar to what I think Peyton Manning did a few years ago.
Kind of explain that both, if you wouldn't mind. Explain what because when you rupture, it sounds awful. So plantar fascia is, I don't think, something a lot of people really know a great deal about. Dr. Kays, kind of talk about a ruptured plantar fascia situation.
Yeah, so that plantar fascia is the tough band of tissue that extends from your heel bone on the bottom of your foot out to your toes, and takes a lot to rupture it. It's pretty strong. But once you do, there's not a whole lot you can do other than let it heal, get some therapy for it.
What's it, does it look, does it bruise up? What's it look like?
It just tears. the fibers.
That sounds
tear.
horrible with that situation. So the bottom of your foot tears.
Correct.
Is what you're saying.
That's basically right.
How often do you have a ruptured plantar fascia?
It's not I wouldn't say it's a common injury.
It's
would
not.
you?
It's
No.
not very common. Paul George actually had that injury a few years back when he was playing for the Pacers. Usually, I see it clinically, like when people are kind of being dumb and they jump into swimming pools, and their heels hit, and
so if you're jumping off like a high spot and you're jumping into water.
Yep, and you're kind of land in, and either the toes hyperextend or they land on their heel and they rupture it.
How often have you seen that? That's interesting.
Only 3 in my career. I always
Really?
tell people if it's truly plantar fasciitis, 100% of the time will get you better. If it's torn, that's where it's going to be.
What do you
delayed.
do? What do you do with it though? With a torn plantar fascia?
It's hard to surgically. There's hard to repair it, so you just have to really let it heal. And
it just heals on its own?
Heals on its own usually, and So
what do you try to do to rehab a situation, Brad, like that?
So what we'll do a lot of times is try to stimulate the tissue around it, and use some tools to kind of create a physiological response to lay down stronger collagen, which is basically making up that tissue. And then we look to remold that through stretching it.
All right, hashtag AskATI for the guys here in studio. Here's one for you from Ben. I drunkenly fell in the shower a few weeks ago on my hip. That is just right for the show. I have since been having tightness in my leg and my lower back. I think this will go away on its own. Tightness in my leg and lower back after a drunken fall in the shower.
Do you want to take this, Kaz?
I want you guys both to take it. This is going to be a tag team action right here on it. You guys both take it.
Ahead.
Well, it sounds like definitely a thing for physical therapy, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to say with what's going on without obviously seeing him and talking to him more, but sounds like something that will get better on its own, and maybe a little therapy to help speed it along.
Yep. For sure.
How do you, I mean...
Come see me down in Center Grove if you want to.
I fell and drunken in the shower, and this is what happens right here. We were talking about this last week as well. It seems like this time of year, because I went through it last week with a slip and a fall for the first time ever, you get a lot of those this time of year, don't you? Little slips and falls and things of that nature.
Yeah, he probably sees a little bit more on the trauma fracture side than I do.
Yeah. Well, full disclosure, I see most of the younger patients. I'm more of the pediatric age group, and they bounce a lot better. So we don't see as many injuries in the kids, but definitely in the adults at this time of year, it can get crazy.
I was going to ask you that. How often, like I've seen a couple of because my daughter plays youth basketball, and I've seen a couple of rolling of ankles.
Mm-hmm.
How often does that happen?
Oh, I see ankle injuries daily in the office, especially the gymnasts, the volleyball players. Yeah.
Now, how do you deal with that? I guess it depends on what kind of grade we're talking about here, but how is that dealt with?
Right. So the majority are just simple ankle sprains, and you just rest for a very short period and get them going as quickly as you can. The problem is with younger patients, if they're still growing and their growth plates are open, sometimes you can't distinguish whether they have a little growth plate fracture or not. Yeah, so that's
I would think it would be hard to make a diagnosis because it would be tough for them to convey exactly what's going on because they are so young. I've thought about that with my 8-year-old daughter before. Okay, what would happen if she had to actually tell you, Dr. Kays or Brad, hey, this is what's going on with me? That probably makes it difficult, doesn't it?
Yeah, extremely different. That was one of the things I was going to ask him with his expertise in that pediatric orthopedic world is like, because I actually had a patient I evaluated that had a distal fibular fracture, avulsion fracture with a sprain, and it showed slow healing, but she has no pain. She's 6 years old, and it's like, nothing, her range of motion's full. You want to strengthen up a 6-year-old, but you have to kind of get creative with the functional play activities that you do. So it is extremely difficult from our side, from the therapy, but you got to just have fun with it and get creative and make sure the kids aren't having a lot of pain.
Yeah, completely agree. Brad Howe and Kaz Kays, Dr. Kaz Kays in here from Ortho Indy, Indianapolis, Carmel, and Greenwood with us. ATI Physical Therapy at ATIPT.com. They'll get you in within a 48-hour period, get you in and get you going back on a path of recovery through physical therapy, and it really does work, believe me. I got a couple of things here. Hashtag AskATI. I got sort of a sore heel, nothing Achilles-wise to deal with. Sore heel situations. What
That goes back to kind of what we just talked about, too, with plantar fasciitis. A lot of times is what that's happening. That is associated with tight calves, tight arch, but ultimately we look up the chain at the hip. A lot of times if your hip is weak and tight, it will translate down, and you'll load the inner part of that heel where that plantar fascia is attaching.
Right. That's what do you guys normally do to try to get somebody back from that?
First thing I would recommend, 5 by 2 minutes of just dropping your heel off of a step. Do each side one at a time. Do that for 2 weeks, and then just simply pull your knee towards your opposite shoulder and stretch those hips out. If that doesn't get better, you might want to seek us out at ATI Physical Therapy. We'd be willing to help you out.
JMV, this is hashtag AskATI. I'm dealing with shoulder pain right now. It's maybe an impingement, but nobody has diagnosed it as such. What are some of the things I can do through physical therapy that can help relieve some of the pain? Either one?
So big thing that we always start off with is we got to get your shoulder blades back first. The rotator cuff originates on the shoulder blade, so the point of impingement is on the lateral part of the tendons. And just so people out there know, it's not the rotary cup, it's the rotator cuff. There's 4 tendons.
I used to say rotator cup. It's cuff, right?
Cuff. Yep.
C-U-F-F.
Like the cuff of your
cup.
sleeve. Yep.
Rotator cup.
Yep. Rotary cup. That's my favorite one.
Right.
But get your shoulder blades back, and then usually the back part of that shoulder is tight, so we find ways to stretch that out and strengthen out the rotator cuff to take that impingement away.
I get another one. Hashtag AskATI. This is somewhat vague. My 29-year-old son, ankles hurt him in the mornings. Is there a reason? Sore ankles in the morning. Like I said, it's incredibly vague from Rob here.
Yeah,
what can lead to sore ankles in the morning if you're 29?
Very vague. Well, the first thing that comes to mind when you're stiff and sore in the morning is, could it be some type of rheumatologic issue?
You're going to have to. I'm sorry. Yeah. Some of these words you're going to have to define. You got to define that one. What is rheuma? What?
So that's
a big one.
It's an autoimmune disease where it attacks your own body and you get the swelling. It's not from an injury. So if he's pretty sedentary and his ankles are hurting him and swelling in the morning, then that needs to be looked at, especially if it's both sides. But
man, you're swinging some big words on the show, right? Sedentary and when you start pronouncing words that are spelled RH, then we've all got problems.
All right,
yeah. Well, you may have to dumb it down
just
for us a
some
little
swelling
bit here.
and it's I don't know how to dumb that down.
That's perfect.
But that'd be the first thing I worry about. But could be anything, very vague.
Yeah,
could just be he's out of shape and deconditioned and needs to get.
Is that what you were trying to say when you were tall? Yeah. All right.
That was a nice way of putting that.
I under sometimes that's why your ankles hurt in the morning when you're 29, right? Yeah. So, hey, let's say this, Brad. I'm going to ask you. I've always thought about asking this. If you can't get out and do what you normally do on a daily basis to exercise, tell people the level of importance to just getting up and stretching out your body to the best of your ability for about 10 to 15 minutes every morning.
It's extremely important. I think once you get north of 30, it's even more important. I think just over time, the less movement you have, the less you stretch and strain your muscles and tendons, the lack of flexibility they have. So it's, if you lose flexibility, it's gonna you shorten the muscle, which is going to actually decrease the amount of strength that you have in that muscle belly. So for you, like when you were going through that flexibility, it was huge for getting your function back. So 10 minutes, that's all you need. 10 minutes a day. And
it can just be easy, right? You can use a step, a stair, anything.
Anything. Yep. Step, stair. You can, do some laying down stretches. Some people neglect their upper extremities. What's doing stretches as well. We talk about the shoulder, keeping full mobility, but it's extremely important. We always educate patients on a pyramid process, and the bottom of that pyramid is always flexibility and mobility. You can't get strength back if you don't have range of motion, and then function will follow both of those things.
How do you know that it's working?
Well, first of all, just so you know, stretching alone in isolation is not going to help anything. It's not functional. It's an end or means to an end, but it's working when you're looser. You're going through a further range of motion. You're not having as much pain. Those type of things.
Okay. It's Brad Howell, ATI Physical Therapy, and Kaz Case of Ortho Indy is in studio right here. Tell us how we can get a hold of you if we need your expertise. Class of 1982 from Lake Station.
That expertise and Lake Station don't really go together. I
Pat
guess.
Kersey's about your age too, right?
Pat's young. I think everybody's younger than I am. Pat's a little younger than I am.
No, he's not. I
so.
thought he was like 65 years old. No?
No. Yeah, so KK's at orthoindy.com, or they can call the number at 802-2000.
Awesome. How can they get a hold of you, Brad Howe?
ATIPT.com. Feel free to walk into any of our Central Indiana locations. And just so listeners out there know, we do have direct access in the state of Indiana. So for 24 calendar days, if you got minor aches and pains, we'd be happy to take a look at you.
Awesome. And I've said this before. The best part about it is that you guys get them in within 48 hours to get a peek at what's going on, don't you?
It's a great point. This is a busy time for PT right now. A lot of the people are having surgery by people like Dr. K's as well. So a lot of the hospitals and systems are backed up. So if that is the case, we will get you in. So
how many surgeries do you average a week, Dr. K's?
For me, it's somewhere between 5 and 10.
Is that a lot?
Remember, being pediatric orthopedics, we don't do quite as much surgery. Some of my partners will do twice as much, because they take care of more adult patients.
Understand.
So for
Dr. Case, thanks for coming in. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's great to meet you.
Dr. Case, Brad Howell, ATI Physical Therapy. Another week, no poobah around. Is he okay?
I think he's doing all right. Yeah, I think he's recovering, and the colonoscopy has finally passed.
Everything went okay, right?
They took care of everything.
Everything came out all right?
Everything came out all right, so.
It's awesome. Thanks, Brad.
Hey, thanks, John.
Thanks, Dr. Case.
Thanks, Tony.
Appreciate it. Tony, great job with you. Thank you for all the hashtag AskATI questions on this Thursday. Love talking about me. Tomorrow we're in Broad Ripple. Old Pros Table. Tony's going to be there too. He's going to take the day off, but join me in Broad Ripple. Bud Light Blue Friday, Cowboys Colts tickets. We got Mike Wells, Don Fisher, Bob Lovell, and so much more. Remember, we got to go in a big hurry tomorrow too, because we are going to Colts Happy Hour at 5:30 tomorrow because of the Pacers-Orlando game. Broad Ripple, Old Pros Table, Bud Light Blue Friday, and Cowboys Colts tickets to give away tomorrow beginning at 3 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
It takes everyone in the community working together to create a brighter future. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united.